So now we need to figure out how to send out the link again.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it the little share button at the bottom?
Yeah, do that.
Copy link. Okay, give me.
Are you going to send it to that big chat?
All right, I'm back.
You're back. All right. I
Oh,
think I found a
froze.
way to send it to our subscribers, so I'll do that as well.
Why am I frozen here?
Still frozen?
Yeah, I'm froze after I did all that.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's not real good. There we go. I'm back, baby. Alrighty. Well, since we have no listeners on right now, we're just so I got
I'm
scoreboard.
posting it to our community. There we go.
God, my
All right.
running so slow today.
All right. I think we are good to go.
I think so. Well, welcome our one guest there. We have a national audience today, obviously. That's awesome. Thanks for joining in. I'm one of your co hosts, Greg Luttrell, 95, CU grad. And thank you for joining Bus Brothers today.
Yeah, I'm your other co-host, Todd Luttrell, 98 grad. So took me a little longer to get through school than my big brother, but we made it. We got there.
Yeah, we did. I like his background a little better than mine. You'll notice the industrial piece down here. This is, my new digs for the broadcast. Last week I was upstairs, but I got kicked out of upstairs because, I kind of had the whole house. And
Banished to the basement. Yeah, we'll get you sorted out. That'll be all
I
right.
will. We'll get sorted out. We'll get a better background for next time. But of
Yeah.
course, I'm repping here in my
Yeah.
CU sweatshirt, and I'm repping my son's school today, Mount Union. That's it. It's University of Mount Union and the east side of Ohio, just south of Cleveland there. So, Ryan, if you join,
We got you, buddy.
we got you. But, CU Buffalo. And I got this nice gear right here. Got this off of Fanatics, just in case. I'm plugging Fanatics, who knows?
Go
Uh,
Fanatics. Get your gear.
get your gear there. This is actually a little bit of this that was spent on this sweatshirt goes back to help wounded warriors. So this is from their military collection.
Excellent. Excellent. Yep. So we've got, I think, a pretty good show in store today. So appreciate those who will join at some point. We have thrown it out to the community here, but we got the Colorado versus Kansas. We a lot of fun this game's going to be as we can get that moving. A lot of big games today. Seeing that the Ohio State Indiana game is nearing an end, and it's been over. It looks like for some time, and now Ohio State almost just scored again, which is
Yeah.
not the best thing. But hey, as we said last time, we will promise to do better every time. And we got some good comments and good feedback from some of our listeners last time. So we'll apply some of those learnings and move this thing forward. But with that in mind, Greg, I got a question for you, and I got a question for anyone out there, a poll question of this big rivalry weekend. And I know some of these like bigger games, Ohio State, Michigan still coming, but a lot of the oldest rivalries are playing this weekend. Which rivalry is the longest running? And it's a kind of a trick question because there is one that's really famous that is the longest running, but which one is the longest consecutive running rivalry?
I'll have to pull myself out of answering that question there because I think you've told me that answer before.
We did
I
talk about it last week, yeah.
told me the answer. I would say like probably I don't know Ohio State, Michigan, or like Army Navy or something like that. That'd be my guess.
They are in the top couple. The top three most played college football series in Division One. The first one is called simply the rivalry, and that, my friend, is the Lafayette Leopards versus the Lehigh University. Boy, who I was just watching their swim meet last night. Lehigh University Mountain Hawks. They
Okay.
today played their 160th consecutive game, with
Huh.
Lafayette having a slight edge. The second most longest and with, within the FBS division, the first longest within the highest level is Wisconsin, Michigan, or I'm sorry, Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Okay. All right.
They stand at 133 consecutive games,
Isn't that
and
the
Harvard.
what do they play for? What's
Isn't it like the old Oaken Bucket or something like
yeah,
that?
Paul Bunyan's axe maybe.
Paul Bunyan's Axe. Yeah, I think you're
Paul Bunyan's
right.
axe. There you go.
And then the some might say Yale Harvard, and that one is simply known as the game. And that one actually started before Lehigh Lafayette. So Harvard Yale, their first game was in 1875. Lafayette's series started in 1884. But Harvard Yale has not played every year. And they are currently, I think, on their looking to see 139 total meetings versus 160 meetings. Now some might say that that's may not be right, and part of Lafayette Lehigh comes down to them playing multiple times during the early years, and then I think there was one note saying that they played up to three times around some of the years around World War II. So clearly they've played against each other more times, but it could be that the Harvard Yale clearly holds the edge in starting their series first and really kind of having that one time a year game that probably means more to the fans than anything.
I'm glad you clarified that because I was sitting there doing the math in my head, going, if this series started in 1884 and we're in
Didn't work out.
2024, we have about 20 some odd games in there that I'm not sure where that math was coming from. So
Yeah.
it could have been just that my math class at CU just wasn't very good or something along those lines.
Well, you had it right. Yeah. Lafayette has the edge in that series. 82-72-5, whereas Yale has the edge at 70 wins, 61 losses, and 8 ties. So it
Mm,
depends which side you're on. I was reading that the Lafayette Lehigh football winner doesn't get anything special. They actually get the game ball, and the winner takes that game ball, puts a score on it, and at Lafayette they host those balls in the president's house instead of in their sports hall of fame or their sports area. So kind of a neat weekend when you get these teams together. Last night, a little shout out to Lafayette was at my oldest daughter Emma's Lafayette Lehigh swim meet, where Lehigh flexed their dominance and really crushed them. But shout out to I think there were 4 or 5 pool and school records that were busted last night, and yeah,
yeah,
just a great midseason sprint race, and we'll get them next time.
nice, nice. Well, while we're on the our kids' athletics, I see we lost somebody.
Yeah,
That's all right.
already tired them out. Yeah.
Back. You were like, man, this is boring. So we'll try to keep it live. But I'll give one more shout out on the college athletics side. My daughter's hockey team right now. They have started the year 7-0 now. I think it is best start ever in the women's hockey program at St. Norbert College. So shout out to them. They are playing in about 45 minutes, something like that. I think to try to go 8-0 on the season. So that's a good start. And switching back here to what everybody tuned in for, CU here is, I guess, speaking of the rivalry, we certainly with KU do not have what the game has or, the
Or the
Lehigh
rivalry. Yep.
Lafayette rivalry. We don't. In fact, CU and KU have met a total of 67 times in their history, with CU prevailing 42 and losing 25. And playing away at KU, we hold a slim margin of 17-16 away. So, um, that's not too bad, not too bad at all. But I will say that the location that we're going to be playing today, Arrowhead Stadium, has like been a house of horrors for Denver teams over the last like 10 years. I don't think the Broncos have won a single game at Arrowhead since 2016, I think, or maybe 15. I think it's 15. And they were just there about 3 weeks ago and had a chance with like 3 seconds left to kick a winning field goal and knock Kansas City from the ranks of the undefeated, and it got blocked. So I really hope today CU brings it and we don't come down to a last second field goal at Arrowhead Stadium.
We will see how that goes. In theory, on paper, Colorado is superior, although I think as we touched last week, Kansas started the year right. They were top 25, and then they went on a bit of a skid where they lost a number of games. But the last couple of weeks, they've rounded into shape, knocking off BYU last week, where everybody already crowned BYU the best team in the Big 12. And Kansas stifled them, which I think for a Colorado fan was fabulous. That's what we need happen, and I know that we've got another big BYU game today against Arizona State, so we'll keep you up to date with some of those facts as well. And um, but that doesn't bode well going into a place that's pretty hostile. There's going to be a lot of fans there, and a team that's on the up, starting out slow like Colorado has done the last 2 games against Texas Tech, really dropping the ball early and getting behind fast. And then last week, fortunately, the defense bailed us out early on the first throw of the game, an interception, and they only Utah only walked away with a field goal. So we can't do that today. Like, this would be the one good game for us to get out ahead early and get some points on the board, and let's let the defense step up, and let's who knows? What do you think? A running game today?
I hope so. I can tell you the D's going to be put to the test today, though. KU, they have over 2,000 yards rushing so far this year. They're averaging over 200 yards a game. I mean, I will say that CU played UCF earlier this year. I think it was the third or fourth game of this year. I think it was, and at the time, UCF, for anybody that doesn't know, Central Florida, the Knights, the Black Knights, I think. Um, at the
Oh,
time, they
just the
were.
Knights, just the Knights. I'm sure our Army would be angry that they would be
Oh,
compared to Black Knights against anybody.
that's blasphemous what I just did.
That's
Uh,
right. Sorry, Army, if you're
Yeah,
listening.
sorry about that. Don't need anybody showing up at the door. Um, but yeah, they at the time UCF was the number one rushing team in the nation, averaging 350 plus yards a game, and we clogged up the middle pretty well on it. But it looks to me like looking at doing a little bit of research for this game, their quarterback Jalen Daniels, he looks like a dual threat guy. Accuracy wise, he's just a little over 50%. He's thrown for just a little under 2,000 yards, but he's also run for 300 plus yards. So he's kind of one of those guys. And their top running back, Devin Neal, that guy is just shy of 1,000 yards on the season so far. His average is 5.7 yards per carry. Every time he touches that ball, almost 6 yards a pop. So I
Yes,
think our front, it's going to be important for them to keep rotating guys in and out as the game goes on because that running game is probably going to be working hard to wear our defense down. Uh,
agreed. Agreed. Give me 1 second. Keep with that thought. I'll be back in a jiffy.
all right, be back in a jiff. I'll carry along here. So that's going to be, to me, that's going to be one of the biggest, challenges for CU today is can our defense slow down their running game? Their quarterback just being over 50% completion percentage, that's not great, and if we put the pressure on him, ultimately, that could be, the decision or the deciding point of the game. Can we keep the ball, out of the running back's hands and can they not make plays? I mean, Jalen Daniels, he's got almost as many INTs as he's got touchdown passes. He's got 13 TDs through the air, but he's thrown 10 INTs. And I know our cornerbacks are pretty opportunistic. But I will say their defense, they've got two cornerbacks on there. What is it? Mello Dotson and Kobe Bryant. Not related to the more famous um, Kobe Bryant, but anyway, their cornerbacks combined, those two guys combined, have 9 interceptions on the season. So that just tells you right there how good their cover guys are. And so that's going to be quite the test today for, I think, Travis Hunter, LeJontay Webster, Will Shepard, and the rest of the crew. But I will say, I mean, CU on a weekly basis, it seems a new receiver stepping up and being the guy. When the other guys are getting covered, there's somebody else that's stepping up and getting the ball.
Yep. No, I agree. And we're gonna have to take advantage of that. I think one of the things that sticks out that we learned last week was completion percent matters. And Isaac, the quarterback from last week, Isaac, his name's escaping me already, so I apologize, Isaac. And I think he
I
had a
think,
50, yeah, there you go. He had a 57% completion percentage, and
yeah,
he stuck to that most of the game. He was down, and then he was back up, and probably ended up around that. But Jalen Daniels has about the same 56.6%. But the thing that he has that was not with the Utah quarterback last week is that dual threat, and we've seen where certainly earlier in the season when you have that dual threat, they can fake that, do a run pass option, or they can do a design quarterback run where quarterback drops back, he looks like he's scanning, and then he scampers up the middle for 10, 15 yards, and our linebackers cleared out at that point. So it's going to be imperative for us to really keep that in check and not give up big holes in the middle. That's going to lead to big yards.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they've learned from like the K State game because K
Yeah.
State, I want to say we gave up about 200 yards rushing, maybe a little bit more, but it opened up the passing, and their quarterback was able to get out of the pocket and make some key first downs as that game went on.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what Livingston does with the defense today, and see what Warren Sapp He's the special assistant for the D line. Let's see what he's kind of dialed up. Just going through this, I mean, CU has 33 sacks on the season through 10 games so far. It's clear having Warren Sapp there, is definitely helping that D line get after quarterbacks. And I think right now they rank nationally sixth with the number of sacks from a defensive perspective. So that's pretty good. I mean, that tells if they can keep Jalen Daniels in the pocket and kind of keep collapsing into him, I think it could take away a weapon of theirs.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. So it's gonna be a good show.
It is going to be a good show today. Let's see here. I think they pushed back. They must have pushed back the start of our game just a little bit. They're saying 1:30 on Fox, but Colorado time, it seems like it's about 1:30, and there's nothing that shifted over so far. Still doing all their exit interviews on the Ohio State game there. So
Yeah,
I'm guessing the start of the CU game got pushed back slightly.
a little bit. Yeah, yeah. I think they'll be switching over here in a minute. So
Yeah, I mean,
we'll get to it.
exactly. And nobody's on here because they want to watch the end of the Ohio State game. I mean, honestly, I did watch some of that game, by the way, and just give you a little bit of thoughts there. Number one, Indiana, their special teams stayed home in Indiana. They gave up a punt return for a touchdown, and then they had a ball go through their punter's hands, and they ended up Ohio State tackle them on like the 4-yard line, their own 4-yard line. So basically, 14 points were given up by the special teams right there and put them in a 14-0 hole essentially. So that's that was pretty much that. I was actually hoping Indiana would give them more of a run for their money today. I actually thought they were, but I know that Indiana lost their starting quarterback against Nebraska. What was it, 3 or 4 weeks ago? And
Hmm.
the guy that's filled in has done well, but there's nothing like having your starting quarterback back there.
Yeah,
So yeah, and speaking of quarterbacks, I'm sure most of Buff Nation saw this week that Julian Lewis, he recently decommitted from USC. He's the number 2 ranked nationally quarterback for the 2025 class, and just this week he committed to the Buffs. And there's a lot
that's
of
huge.
speculation out there. That's huge. That's the quarterback of the future right there. No offense to any of the quarterbacks they have on roster right now, but I think most of them are on notice right now. You're bringing in
Yeah,
some
the
of the best
the
quarterback
guy. Well, I
class.
think they had asked him about the. I think they had was Shador Sanders perhaps had sent out a post, or Colorado football did when he visited, and it was him sitting in almost like a throne, and Sanders handing a set of keys to him, and they asked him about that of how did that have an impact, and clearly he was swayed with what he saw and what he spoke about when he met with Sanders and Coach Sanders and everyone else.
I think so. And it'll be interesting because now with him, they've got 11 commits to their early signing right now, as far as I can tell. And there are a number of other people out there that have recently decommitted from schools. One of them is Card Smith or Card Smith. I don't know the pronunciation of his first name, but he was a USC commit out of Alabama, and he is the top rated tackle, offensive tackle in this class. And, if you remember back last year, we got Seaton. He was the top rated tackle and he was committed elsewhere and then decommitted and at the last minute committed to CU. So I wonder if CU is going to be able to pull off another upset there. And with another, decommit from USC, and maybe we'll have on the other side of the ball, on the other side from away from Seaton on the opposite side of the O line there, have another top rated tackle coming out. And you want to talk about you know pulling a pulling a rabbit out of your hat when it comes to Dion, and maybe it isn't. Maybe this is just he's really good at recruiting. I mean, he got Travis Hunter to Jackson State.
Yeah,
HB was that
HBCU. Yeah,
yep, and then turned around and brought him, to see you. But he was the top rated receiver. I think he was the top rated player in that entire class. What was it, the 22 class, maybe, or 21 class? He was the top rated, if I remember correctly, top
Yeah.
rated player, and he got him. So he is a
Pulling
history.
away from Florida State and all the other big powerhouses at that point. But it's interesting because also this week Bryce Underwood, who had committed to University of Georgia, or I'm sorry, to LSU forever, and I think even as the last couple of weeks had reaffirmed his commitment, but now LSU is on a 3-game skid, and just like that, Michigan dangled. What I saw was like 10.5 million in nil deal ahead of him, and there you go. The Michigan native leaves LSU and goes back to Michigan, which is going to help that program. They need somebody like that, but shows you how big and how different college football is even from 5 years ago, where you can get your donors and partners together, scrape together some big cash, and you can lure people one direction or another.
I know, and I'm glad you brought up the nil because I had it as a topic on my side to talk about today too. Because, at some point, there's only going to be about 20 schools that can pull together enough money to be
Yep.
able to and to lure these players. So, I just heard this week about how the NCAA is going to take this up again and start looking at this and try to figure something out because I think some guardrails need to be put in place on this. I mean, I sit here going, maybe there's got to be a salary cap or something like that.
I thought the same thing. Yeah.
Where there's only so much money you have as a nil at any given school, and you got to figure out how to make that work because it's almost like free agency right now in college sports, and
It is.
to an extent, it's taken away from what I grew up loving about college sports. I loved that there was no money in there. These people most of them were on scholarship because they're getting an education and a chance to go pro. And now it's just who's got the deepest pocketbooks. And I can't speak to anything different because CU, I mean, prior to Underwood, I'm hearing the same numbers here in Colorado. Shadur Sanders is the top nil guy in, I
Yeah,
think,
he's like 5-6 mil a year,
five,
something like
six
that.
mil,
Yeah.
and I think, who is it? Is it Levy Dunn out of LSU, that gymnast? I think
Mhm.
she's the top, making more than, Shadur is. But at what point are they going to school for?
Yeah. Oh, they're just padding their future, and you know that you're going to be okay. Which is it got to what we talked about last week, right? But potentially Shador deciding, hey, if I don't get the right team, I've got nothing pushing me to the NFL draft. I can wait it out because money is not a problem.
Yeah, when you're already making 5 million a year, you're already making as much as you would as one of the top five picks, in your
Yeah.
rookie seasons in that contract. You're already making probably more money than you would be making. Granted, when you get to the pros, you're still gonna make, your sponsorship money and things like that on top of your contract. But I mean, seriously, college players making $5+ million a year.
Doing all right. Yeah, we're doing something wrong. Well, I did see that there was getting back to kind of the prospects of this coming year. There was a mock NFL draft that came out. I forget who was behind it. Someone on ESPN that had potentially Jacksonville as the number one pick and trading down to a team that needs a quarterback. So they had Shadur going number one overall, Travis Hunter going number two, potentially to Cleveland, and then down the line from there. And I thought, what a huge, huge coup for Colorado if they could. The last first round draft pick that we have, we should look that up. And certainly the last first round top 10 draft pick that we've had, we'll look that up as well. But the potential's there to have two top five picks. The first quarterback out, and of course Travis Hunter. I think whatever team gets him is going to have an interesting decision how to play him. With his size of 6'1", and clearly he's shown his athleticism on the offensive side of the ball. Defense, clearly he's talented as well. So do they? They're not going to use him with an investment like that the way they do in college, and have him play 130 plays a game just to make sure he can last. But you're going to get a steal. So to have CU in the conversation of potentially having two top five picks in the same year, and one of them clearly the front runner for the Heisman Trophy right now, which would bookend Rashawn Salam's magical season when he eclipsed 2,000 yards as the only other CU Heisman Trophy winner. Like, they've got some good things now, and now you got this huge second prospect quarterback coming in, and I agree with you. Like, what a wonderful thing to if for us to actually grab some of these high offensive linemen and really start building some parts around these top draft picks and turning Colorado into a powerhouse.
Oh, I totally. I mean, and really, yeah, I mean, you start the recruits start seeing that. I mean, it takes me back to. I mean, we're both graduates of the '90s, and that was the heyday of CU football under McCartney, and after that, Neuheisel, and Neuheisel just inherited a lot of talent,
Yeah,
from McCartney. But I think back to those days, and CU was churning out more NFL players than like Michigans and the Ohio States and things like that. And they were top draft picks. I just think back to those days. I mean, let's see here. Let's go back to 1991 here. Mike Pritchard, receiver. He went number 13. Alfred Williams, who ended up closing his career out as a Denver Bronco and winning a Super Bowl. He went number 18 in the first round. Eric Bieniemy went in round 2. Canavis McGee went in round 2. Couple other players, a defensive back and a tackle went in 3 and 4 in rounds 6, 8, and 10. There was still more. I mean, there was like looked like 10 players that went just in 1 year to the NFL off that team. The year before, 90, we had 2 players go. In 88, we had 3. In 92, so I mean, it was, getting to 92, we had 4 players in the draft. 93, we had 5. We had 2 first round draft picks there. 94, we had another first round draft pick, from the Buffs. But that was the heyday. And really, if return to greatness, if you call it, is what they're trying to do. You got to start moving guys to the NFL and got started moving them,
yeah,
you know, and because now, as we talked about last week, you got to build from within, which is the high school ranks. That's where your base is. That's your foundation. And then you fill in all the holes through the transfer portal.
yeah, I agree. And just going through this list over the decades, Michael Westbrook, round one, fourth player selected only, and so that's the highest, only matched by 1938 Byron White, also the first round, fourth pick.
Byron Whizzer White, who
That's
happened to sit
right.
on the Supreme Court at some point in time in his life. I'm not saying that Westbrook's ever going to sit on the Supreme Court, but Whizzer White, probably the most famous buff ever,
Yeah,
or one
yeah.
of.
So, oh, wait, I take that back. 1974, round one, pick number two, Bo Matthews, a running back, went to the San Diego Chargers.
All right, probably back in the old AFL days. But all
Yeah,
right, we got to digress here. We are about to kick the ball off. CU will be kicking to KU. Start this game today. Let's see here. Here we go. The ball is up in the air. We got 0-0, and KU is going to run it back. They got a little bit of room right there, and our special teams gave it up to about the 28, 29-yard line. And here comes that D. As we talked about in pregame for a while, uh, 33 sacks so far this year, sixth ranked nationally when it comes to sacks. And their red zone D, they're 11th ranked nationally with the red zone D, giving up more field goals than they are touchdowns, which is fantastic.
good
And
with that.
they also
Yeah,
have 21 takeaways so far this year, 10 INTs and 11 fumbles. So, huge turnaround from last year. Huge turnaround from last year. But here's that Jayhawks Daniels, their QB, first play by KU. They hand it off to Devin Neal, and the guy gets 6 yards. That's his average, 5.7.
right on it.
This is
And for
a
those
battle.
for those who care for breaking news and something that's going to help the Buffs, Florida just took down Ole Miss 24-17. Ole Miss is ranked number 9. We need all the help that we can get for any teams in front of us to come down.
We do, but CU's just got to take care of business today on their own.
Oh,
They
yeah.
got to shut down KU here. All right, KU on 2nd down and 4 just got a first down on a quick out on the left side of the quarterback. Got about 6 yards on that. So KU first 2 plays ran for 6 and then had a quick out for 6. I guess like I said, this is going to be the matchup. I think today it's going to
Yep.
be KU offense against the CU defense, and can we stop them? Because at the end of the day, I think our offense is better than their defense, but can we stop them?
Yeah, and I think it was collectively agreed by all interviews last week and confirmed even with Deion Sanders that last week's game was not a good game.
Yeah.
And we can't get into a game again where we're relying on these long, long touchdown plays and everything else has just sputtered out.
No, and all right, the first play of that second series, uh, tackle for no gain there. They attempted to run
Right.
the right hand side of the line, and CU is up to the task. So 2nd and 10.
From the
Uh,
39. All right. Oh, and KU has the ball. KU is
ah,
going which direction? They're going from left to right on our screen.
yeah. Well, there you go. They handed the ball off. What happens? They got 6 yards on that little pitch and run. That's going to be the big thing. Can we start to shut down? It doesn't look like they run between the tackles a lot. It looks like they run a bunch of sweeps so far. So I guess that's going to be interesting to see what we do with our linebackers today, trying to fill the holes.
Yeah, I
Uh,
agree. That turned out to be a gain of 7, so third and
yeah,
3.
3rd and 3 right now. Here we go. We are running a 3-man front, and they got it again. Just got 3 yards. They were there, but nobody could stop him. We made contact about a yard or two short of the yard to gain, but the guy, he only looks like he's 4'3", low center of gravity, and he just snuck his way there. I mean, looking at some of the CU guys standing next to him, they're a head and a half taller than that guy. He looks tiny, but that's their number one guy, Neil.
That's right. He's almost got 1,000 yards. He's got 926 coming in. So if he keeps at this pace, he'll clear 1,000 by halftime.
Yeah, he'll clear it in this game. We do not want to see that. Right, one of those flanker screens right there. Oh, they slipped the tackle, and the guy. Oh, it's Neil. It's their running back, and he just scored. 50
Right.
yards on the D on a flanker little screen. And we had about 3 shots of guys that got on him, but couldn't bring the guy down. I guess it's that 4'7" running back thing where
Yeah.
he's just a tree trunk from the waist down. But hey, that's just it. Actually, it's not even flanker screen. It's a little just flare out of the running back. And they had 2 receivers blocking. Number 7, our safety had a chance, had him wrapped up around the waist, and he pulled out of that, and a couple guys took some poor angles. I was just, there's a downfield hold they didn't call. The number 45 was clearly holding our defensive back number 20.
22, yeah.
But anyway, I guess that's
Not the start that we need. Although, you know what? We need to settle down. We need to get through the first 2, 3 series of kind of the scripted plays and know that those are going to be set up for a reason against certain defenses. Right. Doesn't no excuse for bad tackling.
yeah, no excuse for that, and no excuse for letting them in 5 plays go down the field and go 71 yards in 5 plays in 3 minutes and 16 seconds. That was pretty pathetic. So he starts the game in a familiar position, down.
Down, and to put some accurate height to Mr. Devin Neal, 5'11". But to your point, when he's up against 6'6", 6'8", 6'10" dudes, he's looking like he's 4 foot something. So not a surprise. He's a tricky guy, probably really slippery, and he's shifty. Be able to get back and forth and make people miss like he did there. That first missed tackle, he had him lined up, and then that juke right at the last minute cut him to the inside and get you to the next layer, and then
Yeah,
it's all speed from there.
that was. Yeah, that was some poor tackling, poor D in that first series, but Livingston's shown the ability to make all kinds of adjustments in game. So we'll see what kind of adjustments in game he's got going today, or what he's got cooked up, because it looked like so far. I mean, one of the things that he does really well is blitz, and be able to kind of, you know, put some of those holes, or plug some of those holes. And they played just base D that entire series. So it'll be interesting to see what changes he makes from series one to series two, and how he slows down Neal, because Neal pretty much had most of the yards for, I think, all but 13 of the 71 yards they had on that drive. One guy
Like
had
Neil. Yeah, they're gonna
one.
have to. They're gonna have to find an answer to him.
Yeah.
I
So
did see an interesting stat while we're here on break. Just looking at some of the updated scores, Arizona State is up on BYU 7-0 with 6:25 left in the first. BYU currently has the ball at their own 25. But one stat I was trying to look for, and I just didn't make it there yet, was I wanted to see how the Syracuse game ended up. A, because I live here in Syracuse, and B, because at halftime, Kyle McCord, who, if you recall, was the starter for Ohio State last year, and really got ran out of town after losing to Michigan. He had 333 yards passing at halftime.
wow.
So I was interested to see just how many yards he did pile up today.
Well, looks like we're about back here from commercial break, and CU will be getting the ball to begin this series. They're going to be kicking it. Looks like senior day at Kansas, University of Kansas Day, because that's what they're showing right now. A bunch of senior moments here.
That's a good day. It's a good day, especially to be celebrated like that at Arrowhead.
Yeah, that is. This is a big game. This is a big
Yeah,
game. And KU, they knocked off BYU last week,
they
and
did.
got a 2-game winning streak going right now. So and after watching the first offensive series, we got some
There's a
work.
good reason why. Yeah,
Yeah, there is
yeah.
a reason why. So that ball goes out of the end zone off the kickoff. So CU's gonna bring out a familiar fish, Shadur Sanders, lead the offense today. They should start, I think, once you take that 25, I think.
Hmm.
And we'll see. They're going from left to right in our screen on the TV for those that can't see it. So, CU's in their white uniforms today, and KU's in their standard blue with red pants. And here it is. CU's first snap from the 25-yard line, flare out a running back. Oh, they go the opposite way to Hunter. Good D. Hunter was snuffed out right there. They rolled the running back to the right of Shadur. Looked like they were going to go ahead and throw a little screen out that way. And then they popped it the opposite side with Hunter. But good tackling by those cornerbacks. I talked about those cornerbacks at the top of the show. Between the two of them, their top cornerbacks, they got 9 INTs so far this year. All right, we did the flanker screen the opposite direction to start the game. Gosh, this looks familiar. Like
Just
something.
like last week. Yeah. Let's go for the three-peat of no getting no advanced yards.
Yeah, well, that flanker screen to the right of Shadur, we picked up, I think, 6 on that. And right now on your TV screen, they were highlighting Cash Cleveland, the center of the O line right there. And just a little tidbit: Cash Cleveland is a walk on, and he is the first ever offensive lineman that's a walk on that gets a start. So he got a start today as a walk on. Well, see you right there. Went for the gusto. Hunter's kind of pleading his case right there. It was 3rd and 4, and Shadur went all the way down the field. Let's see what happened here. Oh, yeah, there's definite hold right there. Come on. You got to call that if you're a ref right there. Hunter was running down the sideline, then cut to the middle of the field, and the cornerback gave him a hug as he turned to the middle of the field, and no flag there. So, like most weeks, we don't get a
Straight up.
lot of love in that department. So I guess that's the way it goes. So,
I'm all about taking shots when it makes sense, but let's get. Yeah, he kind of got jobbed there, but let's get something going early. Like let's get a drive. We need 5 yards. Let's get 5 yards. Let's
yeah,
let's take
dude,
it. methodically up the field instead of, when I think in the last 3 4 games we get into those areas where we've got 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, and we continue to go down for the 25, 30 yard. If the guy's open, great, but in many cases I think most of the receivers are double covered in those cases, and that's, let's find that layered play like we talked about last week. Drag that tight end across, or get the running back out there to give you something underneath.
Totally agree. I mean, at this point, they had 3rd and 4, and they go for about a 30-yarder down the field. It should have been a defensive holding call or a defensive pass interference call, but that's just the way the game goes.
Yep.
So why not go for something that's going to get you 4, move 6? Now you got a fresh set of downs, and if you want to take that shot, take that shot.
Yep.
Down the field. Our receivers are good, but it's clear their cornerbacks are good.
Yep.
They're playing some good cornerbacks that have good ball skills and can fight for that ball. So I have a feeling it's going to be like last week. I mean, Utah played our receivers tight the whole game. They didn't back off of them. They played press coverage the entire game. And I have a feeling Kansas watched that film and said, "Hey, our cornerbacks are just as good, and we're going to play press coverage on these good receivers here and see what they can do."
Yep. No, that was a good return there. 18 yards. Kansas will start on their own 33. Again, going right to left on our television screen, and this will be a big one to see if early on we can make some adjustments and shut down some big runs. And not that a 6 yards a big run, but when you're consistently getting 6 yards at a pop, it really allows you to try a whole bunch of different things on second down and third down, and so far no answers.
Yeah, so far, and CU's punter that just kicked that ball. I didn't catch how far that went. Looked about 50 yards or whatever.
Yeah, 54.
He was just named this week a Ray Guy Award finalist, which goes to the best collegiate punter. So obviously, he's done a good job kicking this year to be one of the finalists for that award. And for
Yep.
those who don't know, Ray Guy, amazing punter. He used to punt for the Oakland Raiders, and I think he's one of the only punters in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think you're right. And very few punters get love at the NFL level. That's for sure.
That's for sure, especially trying to make it to trying to make it to the Hall of Fame. I believe he
Mhm.
did. So, man, we're gonna see here. Jayhawks first FBS team with a losing record to beat 3 straight top 25 teams. If they can beat CU today, KU would be the first team ever
To beat four.
record to beat 3 straight ranked teams. Which
There you go.
K State was it K State they beat before they beat BYU?
No, they lost to K State in a close one. They should have won that one. Oh, they beat Iowa State, then they beat BYU. Yeah,
That's
and
right,
then beat them
Iowa
three.
State.
Yeah,
That's right, Iowa State. So, all right. Well, first play of their second drive, no gain. They handed the ball off inside. Again, they're going from right to left, about their 33-yard line. So tightened up a little bit there, but we did see them stop one or two of the runs for no gain, but then they turned around and popped them for 5 or 6 or a 10-yard pass play or something. And we
yeah,
haven't even seen Jalen Daniels have to run the ball. There you go. Jalen Daniels right on target. Just got 9 yards right off the bat there with that receiver. It was just an in cutting route and put it right on the money. The only place that anybody could catch it was his guy and 9 yards. So 3rd and 1.
it's gonna help if he's dialed in today. That'll make a big difference. When you're throwing 56, 57, and I think even the stat on TV was potentially 61% completion, gives you some hope. But if he's dialed in,
Yeah. I bet they hand the ball off number 4 here. What do you know? Number 4 got the ball and he got a yard and a half and he only needed a yard.
move
So
the sticks.
6 again. It was a good tackle there, but problem is he got the first down.
Yeah, exactly.
We can't allow them to keep getting chunk plays and leaving them in 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. I mean, they're going to make more of those than they're not going to make.
Yep.
So let's see here. That was Silman Craig that picked up that tackle right there. He's the other safety opposite Shadur Sanders. Let's see here. They are at their 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Look at that, a handoff on a stretch play. guess what? It wasn't number 4, it was somebody else, 28. Can't read who that is, but he got 7 or 8 yards right off the bat. Our D's got to find a way. They may have to pull the problem is if you can't stop them with your O line or your D line, you got to start dropping the backers and the safeties down, put 8, 9 guys in the box, which then puts all your cornerbacks on islands in
Yep.
man on man coverage. So that's going to be the trade off. If they can't figure out how to stop these guys running the ball, they're going to have to start dropping the linebackers down and start dropping the safety down into the box.
Well, I
You know,
think you get into a pattern of 3 or 4 down, and you don't see blitzes very often.
No, and there you go. They made 8 yards in that run play to the previous play. This was 2nd and 2, and guess what? They got 2 yards. So uh, they're running the ball hard right now.
First down 10 on 47, Colorado side of the field.
I know. This is not the
So
start.
far, it is 100% one way at this point.
Yeah, this is not the start CU was looking for. That's for sure. They needed to be come out here with that D and shut them down. They got to figure some things out here. Here's a designed play call the quarter. Oh no, they ran a wildcat. Their top running back Devin Neal had a direct snap to him, but Silman Craig shot the gap there and tackled him for a loss. Looked like a loss of about 3 or 4 on that play.
There you go. There you go. We got a shout out from Gina Luttrell. Joined us on the cast. Thanks, Gina, for tuning
Hey,
in.
appreciate that.
Loving some Buffalo football.
Yeah, we are. We're loving some Buffalo football. Let's see if the D can shut it down now. 2nd and 11. I guess it was only a loss of 1. It looked like it was a loss of 3 or 4, but 2nd and 1. Can they put some pressure on it? Oh, he broke the pocket. Quarterback broke the pocket, and he's still on his feet. Missed tackle again. The guy was tackled 5 yards down the field, broke out of those tackles, and then ran for another 10. And that was another. I mean, that run right there were 3 missed tackles in that run.
Yeah,
Guys
you got to
had
clean that up. That's 2 in a row. Two drives in a row.
yeah, I mean, missed tackle. There was a hold right there in the offensive line. A linebacker had him, and I don't understand. Okay, I've watched CU football season long. Why, when you're going to tackle a guy that's got good moves and everything else, you hit him from the waist down. Don't grab him up by the shoulder pads because that's how they're able to shed it. And that's exactly what he did to the first tackler. The guy's a linebacker, had him 5 yards down the field, which was fantastic.
Spun him
But
around. Yeah.
he grabbed him around the shoulder pads, and guess what happened?
Well, I
Guy
think you see
running.
that a lot from some of our corners for sure. Shiloh Sanders tends to really want to clobber people high, and it's burned him a number of times throughout the season. Had he just gone low, taken the legs out, like that,
Yeah,
he would have been just fine. But you get something similar like this, where it bounces off people, and they have the athleticism to break out.
yeah,
Well, they're digging themselves a hole early.
if they, even if they stop them here, it's 2nd and 6 right now. Let's see a running play. Missed tackle again. Had him at the line of scrimmage, and he ran down the field for 15 yards. They,
Yeah, they
man,
are getting some chunk plays right now.
chunk plays and missed tackles are destroying them right now. This guy had him.
So you
But
got Sevion Morrison, who just ripped that off. He's got 4 carries for 23 yards, and that's complementing the other running back. Currently, KU's racked up 130 yards, 7 first downs. Colorado has 6 yards.
yeah, this is a one-sided affair. This is not starting off how CU wanted to start off right now. And CU better figure this out.
Yeah, we can't continue to play from multiple 2-digit deficits each time and hoping we're going to come out okay. Let's think back to the Baylor game where a Hail Mary was necessary just to get into overtime. Like, we don't want that.
No, we don't. Well, on that first down play, they tried a little razzle dazzle, just with a little look more like a old wishbone play going out to the side where you had a running back running with you, and we had that defended pretty well. We actually tackled them for a 3 yard loss. So it's 2nd and goal right now from the 13-yard line. Let's
Right.
see. CU's D can can stop them here. Oh, there was a hold. Oh, man, I will tell you, the refs so far have put the flags away on the interior lineman because our defensive end was breaking around him and the guy was getting a bear hug from behind, but no flag. And
All right, third and goal. Third and goal with an incomplete pass to what looks like he was targeting Luke Grimm.
yeah, third and goal from the 13 right now. Let's see here. The score percent, the red zone offense this season for KU, they score 97% of the time and they rank second nationally.
Woo. Well, hey, you're gonna do it. That's the place to execute.
No kidding. Oh, there was a screenplay. Don't. All right. We shut him down about the 6 yard line. No offensive lineman managed to get in front of Neal, help out, and they gang tackled him. So 4th and 6 or 4th and goal from the 6. And they're sending out the field goal unit to go up 10-0 against the Buffs right now. That is not the start we were looking for. That's for sure.
At the start, and you got Daniels, the quarterback, starting out hot at 80% of his passes, 75 yards, and the big touchdown early. And
Yeah,
if he's going to keep that clip all day, it's going to be tough.
it's going to be a tough sled for the Buffs. Just inside the upright. Field goal is good. 10
10-0.
0 KU lead. About 12 minutes into the game right now. That is not the start CU needed today.
Yeah, well, it lends itself to the importance of this next drive, and I think we got on early about this one last week as well. So I'm sensing a pattern, and
Yeah,
the week prior to that, when we were not on the air
yeah,
against Tech, we were down 13-0, and there wasn't a more important drive than that next one that actually got us on the board. So here we go.
yeah.
Kansas has a distinct advantage of holding the ball here at over 11 minutes already of the 12 minutes that are gone.
Yeah, I mean, this is the D's been on the field the entire game so far, and
Yeah.
CU has solved that problem.
Ugh.
And
Uh, come
they
on.
for a little bit of time here. Let's see here. While we got a quick break, let's see a few scores here. Clemson is playing the Citadel, and they're up 14-0 in the first. Arizona State right now is up on BYU 7-0. And it looks like they are just now heading into the second.
4 seconds left in the Illinois Rutgers game, and Illinois is ranked number 25 currently, and Illinois currently has a 5-point lead and the ball with 4 seconds left. So it looks like Rutgers had the lead most of that game. Illinois finally came back here in the closing moments.
Looks like it. Looks like it. Let's see here. Tennessee is up 49-0 over UTEP, the University of Texas El Paso. Uh, Texas is up 7-0 over Kentucky about 8 minutes into the first. And Penn State right now is down 7-0 against Minnesota in the first. That's kind of around the league at the moment.
Good games going on. Texas Tech up 14-0 against Oklahoma State currently, which really only matters to those in the Big 12, where Texas Tech was Colorado's victim a couple weeks ago, and Oklahoma State is the last regular season game next week that Colorado has ahead of them. But clearly, they need to take care of business today to worry about that one and make that one matter.
They do. They need to take care of business today. That's for sure. This game is big. If they win this game, they already at that point will have a spot in the Big 12 championship game.
Yep,
At that, and if Arizona State or BYU, either one, whoever wins that game, I think right there,
they'll
yeah,
be in the driver's seat. Yep,
they'll be in the driver's seat for the Big 12 of the other, part of the Big 12 matchup.
which is a total shift from weeks ago when it looked like it was going to be BYU and K State or BYU and Iowa State, and
Yeah,
look what happens.
I know. All right, kickoff. Kicked it into the end zone. We were 5 yards deep and elected to bring it out. Oh, there we go. The sniper got our guy. The turf monster took him down. He was running towards a hole and then just went down. Old turf monster. So, yep, that's He only got out to about 16, 17-yard line. In all honesty, when you're 5 yards deep in the end zone, just take the touchback and get it out to the 25 as opposed to trying to run that 30 yards at that point. Giving up that yardage right there is going to put CU in a hole to start. And considering, how vaunted our running game is, you know,
It'd be a shame if they took that away.
yeah, it would be. It would be. Our top rusher right now is uh, Isaiah Augustave, and the guy only has 300 and some odd yards rushing. And just to give you some perspective, Jalen Daniels, quarterback for KU, has more yards rushing than our top running back. Just to give you some perspective. So
Yep.
yeah, that's just how threatening the
Yeah, at this point, teams are not scared of the dual threat capability of the University of Colorado, and that needs to change. Like that's something that not only with a really good quarterback coming in, we need to get some offensive line folks to help out Seaton and make sure that we actually get some running backs that have the vision to be able to not just run into bodies in front of them, and that's been a big problem.
Yeah, I mean, CU needs to develop a rushing game as they move forward this season and the next. At the end of the day, it will take the pressure off the quarterback a little bit because those defensive linemen can't just pin their ears back and come every single play trying to
Yep.
get at the quarterback. That is not a recipe for success.
Nope.
You need a running attack to help take some of the pressure. And that's something that CU struggled with all season long. And, I, I think some of the discussion we had last week about running some more intermediate routes, that's fine. Throw some balls underneath. You got to get a chip from the tight end on some of these rushers, and or disguise some of these running plays a little bit better. And beyond that, honestly, I, I think really it'd be nice to see Shadur Sanders get up under center sometimes
Yep.
and hand the ball off to his running back rather than being in the shotgun all the time.
That could be a huge change up and a curveball for any team playing against him, where
Yeah.
20% of your snaps are from under center. You can drop back, you can hand it off. You got options that they haven't seen.
Yep. Yeah,
I would use our platform again here with our national audience. It's free.
yep.
Dion, if you're hearing us, layers, buddy, like get those tight ends involved and get those running backs involved.
Well, there's CU. First play from scrimmage. It was first down on their own 14-yard line. I think they got 3 yards on a little, it looked like a running back flare play. Back came out of the backfield, just kind of flared out a little bit. Really, that's a check down route.
Yeah,
That's not a main target at all. That's a check down pass right there. Um,
right.
and
Positive plays on first down. That's what we need.
oh, there we go. A little flanker screen. That one worked out a little bit better right there. We actually had two blockers and they only had two cover guys out there, and we did get a first down on that one. Move the sticks.
Hey,
That
there you go. Well, I mean, it's important for us to get some positive yards. The flanker screen hasn't been hasn't been the big getter that we were hoping all season long. Here we are into game 11, I think.
Yeah, and it seems to be our favorite play every time we're off. We have the ball in the offense is throwing that little flanker screen. So let's see here. Drop back. Oh, there's a lateral. Shadur. And horse collar tackle. Yeah, they got the 15-yard flag on that one. Yep. Jayhawk got him and ripped him down by the back of his collar. So that's some positive yardage right there on a
You know,
play that's going nowhere.
yeah. At this point, we'll take what we can get and move it forward. And again, we've already talked about the criticality of already being down 10-0. This needs to be a positive drive where we actually get some points.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Horse collar tackle. That was a terrible tackle right there. You never want to see that. That's how guys get knees and ankles and everything else messed up. Yeah, that was watching that replay and everything else. It wasn't he
Mm,
definitely kind of rolled the guy's knee, but he grabbed him by the back of the jersey instead of the horse collar, But so that kind of went our way a little bit right there because It wasn't a pure horse collar. Oh, look at that! An underneath route in the middle of the field to the
Dion, you're
back.
listening, buddy. Layers.
They were listening. They heard us.
All right. Hey, we got him piped in. We got him on call now. Let's call the next one.
All right.
I think it's going to be a drop back flanker screen.
Maybe, but Shadur just took an option RPO and he ran it for 6 yards.
All right.
Our
Hey,
first
that's
running play of the day.
all right. Well, he's got some catching up to do on the KU side where they already have. Let's get some stats on their rushes, but they already have a considerable amount of rushing yards.
Oh, absolutely. They probably
Instead,
got. Oh, look at that! A straight handoff right up the gut for 6 yards.
look at that. Yeah. Well, they got
Uh,
KU's
our,
got
uh,
59.
our running back's writhing in pain on the ground real quick. He's heading to the sideline. Not sure what happened to him.
Take
But
a look here on the replay.
soon as he went down, he was writhing in pain, and he's doubled over on the sideline right now. I wonder if he took a shot in the midsection somewhere.
Well, good thing I've got a 24-second delay on my side. I could tell you what happens. I'll look
There,
a little closer.
I like that. As we're going to break here again, let's see if you can tell us what happened there. Because
All right, so they're lining it up. Oh, he just got popped at the same time, and he is holding his abdomen. So it looks like the convergence of two KU guys at the same time. And that was our best. That's the best running back, Augustave.
yep,
And he took them both to the midsection, different sides, simultaneous. So that'll do it for you.
that will do it for you right there. That's no bueno at all right there. But yeah, it looked like something in the midsection. Couldn't tell what it was, but as soon as he got over the sideline, he doubled over and
Yeah.
went. Uh,
Let's hope he's okay and being able to get back in the game. We're really racking up big yards here. While we're on break, Colorado is up to 35 total yards and beneficiary of a 15-yard ghost penalty. So that really means
well, I look at it as a little bit of a makeup call for all the holding calls they've decided not to call. I mean, the first series, Hunter was held slash interfered with as he made a cut that should have been called and should have kept that drive going. But in the offensive line, there's no question KU's offensive line. There's been a couple straight holds that they've put away the dirty laundry. So at some point, hopefully they even out the bad calls or the bad misses, even out
yeah,
in this case. We got one.
all we can hope. Yeah. Now they
Yeah,
need to come back from break and they got to keep moving it forward. We're on the Kansas side of the field, which is a positive.
definitely. And I think this when we come back from break, we'll be starting the second quarter. I think we switched over to the second quarter. So CU will actually be going right to left on our screen at that point.
Right to left. So when we come back, it'll be 2nd and 4, Colorado ball. Currently on the 42-yard line of Kansas, and we need to keep pushing it forward.
Man, I would normally be excited to watch the Michigan Ohio State game, but I am not excited this year. I mean, I enjoy it when Michigan beats them, but this year Michigan just does not have the horses in the barn, I think, to take Ohio State down.
You got to leverage that rivalry to the max when you're outgunned, and even when Michigan a number of years ago when they looked like they had a equal or superior team, and then they would show up and get blown out, and they've
Yeah,
only recently turned that. So I'm all about love to see Michigan beat them.
I would too. That'll be good right there. And I just saw a stat pop up. They're interviewing Prime a little bit in between the quarter, but I saw a stat pop up saying that's the fourth time this year CU scored 0 points in the first quarter.
Mm.
Almost half their games, no points in the first quarter. So starting second quarter, Sanders, a little flare out pass, and Smalls. I think he's a tight end. He caught the ball and just fell down. That turf monster got him again.
Man,
All he had to do
they should have
was turn
checked the grounds for turf monsters before
that.
they even got
So
out there.
it's 3rd and 1 now, which stinks because if he hadn't fallen down, he easily had the first, and now we're 3rd and 1. Oh,
And third and one's where we like to go long.
it is. Let's see if we'll hand it off and actually get a first down here. We are. Oh, handed it off, and oh my gosh, it was a jailbreak coming through. I don't think our offensive line blocked anybody. They just let the entire D line run through them.
Oh, so
What?
that's to say a fourth
Oh,
down.
our it was our walk-on center whiffed on his block and let that guy run through, and it just blew up everything. And they would have had a first down had he not whiffed on that block.
4th and 2 on KU's 40.
4th and 2. Let's see what happens. I think they need to do an RPO here and just let Sanders get this.
Let
Oh
him run.
no, we did not get it. Gosh darn it, CU. That was Sanders handed the ball off. He needed to keep that ball and keep it in his hands and not give it to the running back. And that is the problem. We called it right, an RPO. But the problem is he needed to keep that ball. If he kept the ball, he could have gone outside and easily had the first down. Instead, the running back turned it back inside.
Well, that are like we talked about a little bit earlier. Our running backs tend to seek out bodies in front of them rather than holes next to
Yeah,
them.
that was really poorly done by CU right there.
Now that ups the ante here, where they really need to figure out how to. Yeah, because Sanders, just in looking at this play, Sanders tends to like to. That's like the goal line play that they've had in a number of games where Sanders hands it off and then wants to be the body behind him pushing forward. But in that
Yeah,
case, when you got too many bodies, you're not going to be able to overcome that.
nope. And I think it was a poor spot because a running back wasn't officially down as they were starting to blow the play dead. Yeah, he's a yard short, and he was still rolling over the body to go the other way. But that was bad. I mean, you had 2 plays to get a yard, and you
Yep.
can't get a yard running the ball. I mean, come on, that's just poor offensive line play right there.
Yeah, we need to now. All right, we'll. Oh boy.
This is not the start they needed. And on top of that, the O line needed to block. They just needed to block and get a single yard. And again, Shadur Sanders on that RPO, keep it in your best player's hand.
And
Don't
just go. Yeah.
keep it and run it. I'm sorry that I am a big supporter of when the game's on the line like that or something like that is on the line right there. Keep it in your best player's hands.
Yep.
Let them either make or break it. I mean, I think back to Michael Jordan. That guy, that he was the ultimate player. That at the end of the game, give me the ball, and more times than not, he made the game winner. And in games where he maybe missed it, oh well, he came back the next game, and if they were in the same position, he said, "I want the ball again. I will
Yep.
make it." You know, you got to keep the ball in, and that's just it. Pat Shermer's got to know that. Keep it in your playmakers' hands.
Yep.
Don't
Well,
hand that
I mean
ball.
that if that's a true RPO, then Sanders needs to recognize that as well. And I get it at the NFL level, it's much more defined. It seems like there's less of that decision making at the NFL level because you have a lot of designed throws and less option type football. But you
Yeah,
know, he's not going to be one of those players who's going to be like Daniels on Washington or
right.
Jackson on Baltimore. They have that innate thought about it of when I see something, I'm going to exploit it and I'm going to sell it and then I'm going
Right.
to be off and running.
Yeah, that's just it. And that'd be a nice thing to have in his game, honestly.
Oh yeah,
You
he's
know,
got the athleticism and the size for it. He just
he does.
he's got no propensity to want to like go for it.
Yeah, he's 6'2", 210. I mean, he's
Yeah,
got size.
big dude.
He's athleticism. He's not lacking it. I mean, his dad, he was one of the best athletes ever to don a jersey on Sundays. But yeah, that's just it. Man, I will say this broadcast today has more commercials than I think I've seen in any previous weeks. It's like every 2 plays they're off on commercial break. So CUSD's got to come up big here, huge here.
Oh, this is a big one. Yeah, we can't get down by, well, I mean, at worst, you give up another field goal, you're still within 2 scores. You give up a touchdown, now you're down. 17 points before you've
Yeah.
total. Where are we at? We're at 38 total yards and 3 first downs. That's not a good show.
No, not a good show at all. And again, there we go. They ran through the middle of the field with their fullback. He catches it. We attempt to. Oh, this is just bad. Outside of they are showing back this play again, and the defensive end cleared out. The outside of this was wide open, and on top of that, and he didn't. Instead, we turned it inside rather than going outside. Turned it right into the pursuit rather than going out. Yeah. So anyway, first down again. KU on their first down got a first down. Now on first down, they're throwing it, and they just got 8 yards. Looked like a hold in the backfield again, but that's all right. They're not calling that today.
Yeah, they are eating us up.
Yep, they are just eating us up, and we're playing soft coverage. We're playing off. I don't understand why we're not just draping Hunter, and playing man to man, 1 yard off the ball, and just jam the receiver every time.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
Make them beat you.
Yeah, make them beat you. We have the athletes, make them beat you, but instead we're playing soft coverage, and on top of that, they're spreading the field, and we're not getting any pressure on their quarterback right now. Second
That's for sure.
or hand it off, and their number one running back, Devin Neal, goes for 2 to 3 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and 2 right now.
That's a good one. We got Cloudy Shadow jumping in, noting the guy on the right's got the right school on his hat. So hey, shout out again to Mount Union.
There we go. Mount Union, Cloudy Shadow. There we go.
Excellent, love it.
Yeah, Mount Union here. So, all right, 3rd down and 2. They run the line fast. KU does. Looks like they're going to look for a little swing pass. It wasn't there. Oh, the quarterback just ran right up the gut for 10 yards.
Nice. Well, that's the piece we were talking about before we even started the game. Of if they can sell it in the back and open up the middle, it's been there all season long. People
It
just
had.
trucking up the middle.
Well,
Our
again,
linebackers clear out, and clearly when we're challenged for tackling on a day like today, that's going to be even worse.
yeah, well, and on top of that, we're rushing 4 again.
Hmm.
At that point, start blitzing a little bit, you know,
Yep.
fill those holes and really make him have some happy feet back there and figure out because, when you're not giving him any happy feet, uh, the guy's throwing everything on target today. And the guy is, for the season is 56%,
Yeah,
complete percentage. There's a reason he's hitting all his targets today. There's been no pressure on him at
they're
all.
all open. Well, I think that's again another hallmark of our defense. Week after week, you could probably I'm no defensive coordinator, but I don't see them blitzing very often, and we
No.
don't even mix it in until it's like critical. And we need to get that a part of instead of relying on 4 down.
Oh yeah, that's just it. So 2nd and 11, they tried running it on first off tackle, and we bottled that up. 2nd down, they just got 3 yards running it, so it's going to be 3rd and 8. That looked like our rush defense this series so far been a lot better. I mean, their
Stepping up.
big running play they had was the quarterback breaking containment right up the middle for about 10 yards. Outside of that, every running play they've had so far has been for 0 to 2 yards in this drive. So D's
That's
doing
good.
a much better job up front. So obviously they're making some adjustments. It's on the secondary now to make a play because it's 3rd and 9 from the 30 CU's 32-yard line.
Kansas has got the ball, and they've
Oh,
been driving.
first down. They just threw it to that same guy. Their their tight end running through the middle of the field. The backer was slow, couldn't stay with him, and they just gained like 25 yards.
Why would you not continue with the same plays?
I don't know what our linebacker was doing. He read the whole thing. Why did he not fill the hole faster?
Well, I'll tell you in about 13 seconds.
Oh, that is just it. 1st and goal from the 9. Our
Well,
linebacker need to. Oh, there you go. 17. It's about to be 17 to nothing.
Kansas brought it today. They've got the right scheme. Yeah,
De-
right across the middle,
went
and
just inside tackle for 9 yards. Nobody even touched him. In fact, he just jogged into the end zone.
not a good game thus far.
Nope. Man, all I can tell you, I'd love to be a fly on the wall inside that locker room come halftime in 9 minutes because the coaching staff better be ripping these players to shreds in there about
Well,
how poor they're playing today.
you need something right now. 195 to 38 total yards. Kansas, Colorado.
Yeah, this is just domination right now at the moment. This is not what I signed up for today. That's for sure.
Well, that's what makes it fun, right? When we know that we're getting crushed.
I know. Cloudy Shadow saying Mount Union's football performs better. I think they do. That's for sure. I think if I remember correctly, they've won 13 Division III national championships. So pretty good team. Well, while we got a moment here, let's catch up some scores. Arizona State is winning 14-0 over BYU right now. So that is I don't know if that's necessarily an upset. They're both ranked 14 for BYU and 21 for ASU. And the crazy part about this is I think CU was picked to finish almost dead last in the Big 12, and ASU was picked to finish dead last in the Big 12. And yet, right now, CU and ASU have the best two records in the Big 12.
Oh, and
So,
if it holds and you get
yeah,
ASU beating BYU and you get Kansas upsetting Colorado and I don't is it an upset at this point when they're on a streak that they are? They've figured it out. Again, we talked about it at the top where Kansas came into the season ranked and Colorado was way down and
yeah.
they've defied the odds.
Yeah, Kansas seems to have kind of picked it up and figured out, what they were supposed to be doing at the beginning of the year. They're now doing it,
Yeah.
and they've kind of figured some things out, obviously, and they're very effective at it. And CU at the moment has not figured out. I mean, we've gotten them into third down and long a number of times in this game, and not one time have we managed to shut them down and stop them.
And
They've
it
scored
is a
every.
log jam when you look at if in the conference the number of teams that would have a two-loss record. If Arizona State beats BYU, Arizona State currently has a 5-2 conference record. BYU would then have two losses. Colorado could have two losses. Iowa State, two losses. Then you get a little separation between Baylor and Kansas State. They both have three losses, and Kansas State and Iowa State play next week. So that could sort out whether or not Iowa State remains with two losses, and it brings back to the top Arizona State, Colorado, and BYU, three teams for two positions.
I know.
Arizona State would clearly hold the edge on head to head with BYU,
Yep.
and perhaps if Iowa State runs the table and beats Kansas State, then that would put Iowa State back on the Colorado side to represent. So it's
It
too
will.
early for that conversation, but we like when we only have 38 yards,
Total offense. Well,
we're not looking good.
oh, I see. They're just showing a clip. Prime is ripping the defense right now on the sideline. In between them coming off the field and the offense now going back on the field. So it's going to be 1st and 10 CU at the 25. The kick returner wisely let that one go ahead and go instead
Well,
of
when you
trying.
get eaten up by the turf monster a couple times, that's not a good go.
Yeah, so let's see what happens here with CU. I wouldn't be shocked if they take a deep shot or two here. I really wouldn't. They seem to have a propensity of when they're behind like this, really trying to go down the field as best as they can. So, well, the first one is just a little slip of the back out of the backfield and 5 yards. He broke a tackle, managed to get 5 yards. That was a little quick, just a quick throw right there to the right of Shador. So far, I mean, Kansas not getting a ton of pressure on him, but I just don't know what our receivers are doing down the field at the moment, if they're getting any separation or not. KU's giving them about a 5-yard cushion for the most part. Shadur flushed out of the pocket, running for his life right up the middle, and he ran for about 25 yards right there.
All right, that's a longest play of the day, certainly, and almost doubles our total yardage.
Yeah, it actually was closer to 20 yards because he stopped just shy of the 50-yard line. We were on the 30-yard line. Yeah, and he just managed to run for 17 yards. That's our best play from scrimmage. And then we go back to the running game on the first play and get 2 yards up the middle right there.
All right, so it's a positive play, and we got more commentary from Cloudy Shadow. Like Mount Unions, they show up when you got a 10-0 team, number 3 in the country. uh, they've got a chance, and then you get into that playoff scenario, and anything can happen.
I know. All right, let's see here. See you 2nd and 8 right now. There's about 7.5 minutes left in the first or second quarter. See you a quick out, got it into Hunter's hands, and he breaks it. Touchdown as long as there's no flags on the field. Hunter just scored.
Yeah, let's keep the laundry in the pants for this one for the referees.
Yeah, let's keep it. All right. Hunter just scored. No flags on the play. So see you. That was a pretty quick response there.
That was a must-have though, and
Yeah.
now there's enough time left in the half at just over 7 minutes, 7 minutes 18 seconds. Let's say that they can actually stop Kansas, get the ball back. That would put them in a position to close the gap going into head time. The last thing that they need at this point is to go down 4 points,
Yep.
especially after having a positive.
Oh yeah. Positive drive right there. All right. Kick the extra point. So down 17-7 right now. I think that drive literally took 30 seconds off the clock, maybe a little bit more. Actually, no, it's about a minute and a half off the clock because we got the ball with
Yeah,
9 minutes there. So
we had some good run plays on there as well. So yeah, and we got Sydney chiming in, touchdown. We finally get one. It's been a rough go. If you've joined us late, see you outside of this drive hasn't. They might still be on the bus.
yeah, they might have just finally got off the bus because that was let's see here, just a Hunter. That was his 10th passing touchdown catch this year, and he's got one rushing. So that was his 11th touchdown so far this year through 10 games. And we haven't even seen them throw the ball Will Shepard's way or Lashante Wester's way. Those are two of their better receivers as well behind Hunter. They just haven't opened the playbook at all because they haven't kept the ball long enough to even open the playbook at the moment.
They haven't. Looking at touchdowns, like it's a runaway right now. Hunter's Hall at this point. See if we can filter by anything that that is a wide receiver. It would be classified as wide receiver, but nobody is going to catch Ashton Janty from Boise State. Dude's got
No.
27 touchdowns already this year.
Oh yeah, that guy's a beast of a running back. I think he had through last game 1,800 and some odd rushing yards. So this week it's possibly breaks the 2,000 mark for Boise State. I mean he's killing it right now, which is pretty amazing, honestly.
Yeah,
But
I'm looking to see who. Let's see, rushing from a quarterback perspective. You got two quarterbacks. One tied for second in Bryson Daly of Army. He's got 21 rush touchdowns, and
yeah,
you've
we're a
got
team.
Jalen Milrow for Alabama also has 17 rushing touchdowns.
All right. Yeah, and he's pretty good too. And he's another one of those athletic quarterbacks that has zero problems tucking the ball and running. And I will tell you, even thinking back to last week against Utah, it wasn't until Sanders started tucking the ball and running a little bit, and even going back to Texas Tech, where they
Yep,
started calling his number a little bit, we started getting some forward momentum in the rushing game a little bit
yep,
because accounting for him, on
yep,
the defense scheme. And that started to open the passing game up,
yep,
because they're like, all right, we need to bring somebody else down to make sure he's not running 10 yards down the field on us once he breaks the pocket, you know. So I guess we'll see, what happens. All I can say is, the defense needs to show up on this series and get them to kick the ball. That's for sure.
Oh, in a big way. Yeah, and when you look at total touchdowns, that like you said, that's Travis Hunter's 11th.
Yeah,
That moves him up the list, and the wide receiver currently with the highest number of receiving touchdowns is Nick Nash from San Jose State. He's got 14.
yeah, he's catching there. So all
And
right,
then you need to roll down to Ricky White the third of UNLV at 11. So he's in the pack at number 2 behind everyone else.
he is all right. CU's back on the field now. Defense is back on the field. It's been more of a porous defense in the first half so far, but they're
Now's the
starting.
time to turn it around.
KU starts at their 26. There's a quick pitch outside, and we shut it down to about 2 yards. We had a linebacker knifing through there, which forced them to cut it inside. And they had a few beefcakes in front of him. Honestly, if he'd have been able to stay wide a little bit, that would have been, they might have gotten 6 or 8 yards off that. But linebacker knifing through there forced them to cut it inside. And that was where all the pursuit was coming from.
2nd and 8 from the 28. We need some big stops.
We do. We do. Come on. Come on, boss. Let's get after it here. Inside handoff that time. Well designed play and ran it for 15, 18 yards. No containment on that. The edge had cut inside rather than staying outside. Nope, actually got driven up the field by the tackle. Um, but just opened up a huge hole. All it was a quick run to the right of the quarterback, and he cut it inside the tackle. And
That's Morrison again. He's got 39 yards in the first half already.
I know this is what the D's got to figure out. Start committing more guys to the box. Make sure.
Yeah, well, between him and Neal, like that's a good 1-2 combo when your number one running back actually isn't the top rusher in this, and he's their top receiver currently.
Yep,
But he had that big 50-yard run. Yeah,
I do. You do. Nope. I agree with you, Cloud of Shadow. And yes, I knew who you were. I knew who you were. That's my son going to Mount Union there. That's right. But he pointed out there that Mount Union is sitting number 3 nationally in D3 right now. So they're obviously pretty good. And ball control right now. Look at this. CU has 113 yards and 7 minutes of possession in the first half. KU has 212 yards and like 20 minutes of possession. Or sorry, not 20.
16 and a half. Yeah,
Yeah, almost 20. So
yeah.
that's just it. They're keeping it away from our offense, and our defense got to figure out how to stop these guys and get off the field right now.
Oh,
That's
they
for
need some big stops, and they
uh,
are getting bub kiss right now.
they are 1st and 10 right now. Livingston needs to make some adjustments at the moment, and he needs to figure a few things out here. 1st and 10, they hand it off inside, and they got a yard or two right there. And quick score update while waiting for a 2nd and 8 to about happen. ASU just went down the field and scored again. They're one extra point away from a 21-0 lead over BYU. They are dominating BYU at the moment.
That
Uh,
that that will be big. That will be big. That'll shake things up. 2 straight losses for BYU if that
oh,
holds, and from
well,
from making it all the way to number 5 in the nation.
yeah. And CU though needs to figure this out. 2nd and 8 at the 50-yard line. They handed it off again. We're stringing it out. There was a hold again. How did they not? He just ran down to the 6-yard line, and one of their players absolutely turned our player around in a 360. How do you not call that? You have to call that on the edge. That was, I think it's number 47 that made the. I mean, we had this thing strung out, and it was a bad hold right there. You have to call that. I'm sorry. The refs have got. I mean, honestly, this is where Sanders has got to be talking to the refs a little bit more, saying you got to call those holds. You can't let that guy. The guy just got 40 yards on us because he got held at the point of attack.
Yeah, well, I mean, they string it out here. I've got my view on it here now. Yeah, he's going. Yeah,
There's a hold right there at the point of attack, and our guy gets turned around completely. So 2nd and goal now. That's just, I'm sorry. The refs can let him play, but when it's a hold that changes the dynamic of a play,
A
where
huge
a
play,
guy's there to
almost
make a
50
tackle
yards.
and gets held to the point where the guy now goes 40 yards down the field, you got to make those calls. That's just poor refing right there.
Well, how he made it through that hole is kind of ridiculous anyway, because it's there were so many bodies over by the sideline.
Yep. So it's about to be 3rd and goal at the 5-yard line. First down, they threw a pass to the right. That was only Jalen Daniels' second incompletion of the day, and then they just ran it for 3 yards. So it's 3rd and 5 right now
Third
from
and goal. Yep. Third and goal from the 5.
Thorn again. And man, CU's D has got to figure this out. This honestly looks like the D that showed up in Nebraska. There's another incomplete pass, so it's going to be 4th and 5. Let's see what KU's going to do. Are they going to go for it, or are they going to put their field goal kicker on the field? I think CU would have stopped that one short of the goal line. Yeah, number 7 was there. I think we stopped that one short of the goal line anyway. But CU's got to. They got to. I mean, KU's had the ball 4 times, and they're going to score points on 4 drives.
Fourth and goal. Fourth and goal from the 5. So,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. No,
like the Nebraska game where they scored every drive of the first half. It just was terrible defense.
adjustments, and we have some time on the clock here. Is
We
what we
do.
need. And a shout out to Jeremy, not able to watch the game but listening to us from his deer blind. So appreciate the love on that. But yeah, to your point, you are not missing anything spectacular today. It's a one way freight train right now.
It is. Look, on the sideline, Coach Prime's even talking to our D coordinator, going, all right, we need to make some adjustments here. They're running all over us down the field at the moment. Well, hopefully your luck out there, Jeremy. You're getting a nice big trophy buck out there, because right now we got Bupkis with CU at the moment. 3 minutes and 47 seconds at the moment left.
20-0 or 20-7. Kansas looking to take the lead into the halftime. 264 to 113 yards. It's
Yeah,
just been really one-sided. When your running back is their top running back on Kansas is Neal, 72 yards, 11 carries. It's surpassing his average. And
yeah.
you got Neal also as their top receiver with 2 receptions, 58 yards.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, this is a critical drive right here. CU needs to go down the field and score. Number one, and number two is they need to do it where there's about 1 second left on the clock to end the half. So you can't get the ball back and do anything with it, because we need to get to half and make some serious adjustments defensively and
Yep.
get back to how CU's played the last like 5 games, where we're
Oh, yeah.
just not letting anybody do anything.
No. Well, it's I mean it's hard when your defense is out there for what are they up time of possession? Almost 20 minutes of the first half. 1917 Kansas has had it.
Well, one of the difficulties is, though, it's not like Shadur, you got to get rid of the ball. It is not like KU or CU's not had opportunities to get off the field defensively. They've had them. They've had them in 3rd down and 8. Yeah, it has to be 3 or 4 times in this game,
Yep.
and at some point you got to make a stop. Somebody's got to make a play. An
Well, that big one where they ripped off almost 50 yards. I mean that would have been the right one, and you were right. They strung that out. There was so much traffic there, and for him to find that crease right on the sideline,
Yep.
helped with the hold or not.
Oh my gosh, Sanders is running for his life right now, and and Sanders just took a low hit, like a low hit right at the knees as he threw the ball. That should have been a flag. Absolutely, it was. That was a bad hit. Risey released it. He can't even put weight on. He is barely getting up right now. I mean, all right, he's starting to walk off, but that was a monster low hit.
That is not good.
Oh, they waved off the roughing the passer call. He hit him low. That is a 15-yard penalty. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm seeing it here. He's running for his life for sure. Gets rid
That
of.
was
Oh my
low.
goodness, he just got totally wrecked.
Oh no, that has to. That's 15 yards right there. Hit him late and hit him in the knees down. That should have been called right there. And if I were Prime, I would have been pulling the ref over, going, "That right there, that's got to have a flag. Period."
Yeah.
Oh, and we get called for man downfield. So anyway, oi, well, that looks like we got a first down on that
Well,
play.
you can't be surprised that there's
He-
an ineligible man downfield when he has to run around for 15 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, and on top of that, at some point, should get rid of the ball faster. No offense,
Throw it
I
away.
love it, but get rid of it faster. You got to get rid of the ball faster.
Oh
Yep,
my gosh, that I mean the most
that was
violent component of that hit was that he got flipped around and probably knocked the wind right out of him because he.
oh yeah. Now they're going to review the play as to whether it's a first down. I mean, his feet were dragging on the sideline. He's got it right there. He's got it. Yep, he's got a toe on the ground. That is a first down.
That's what we need.
It was a great catch. He's got it. It's secure. Oh, yep, he's got it. That is a first down. I'm sorry. That was
Yeah,
a fantastic catch. But the way it's gone today, it'll be overturned, overruled, and then see it'll be 3rd and 15. And they'll
yeah.
probably flag us
Well,
for
I think it's what we need to get Draylon Miller. We need to get Horn Jr. We need to get everyone starting to get involved right now. Travis Hunter
yep,
is the target.
yep.
We got to mix it up.
Okay, they have shown this play about 8 times, and he has clearly got a toe down when he's got control, and it's inside the field of play. It was a catch all day long. All right, let's move on. Let's line them up. That would be a first down right there, but they're still on official review at the moment. Well, luckily, I will say that play where Shadur took that low hit and it should have been flagged. I will say, thank goodness he didn't have a foot in the ground because
Oh
if
yeah, that would have blown that knee out right away.
he would have been blown out. It would
Yep.
have been season over, and who knows where he may have just decided not to declare for the draft at that point because that was the only thing that saved him, from losing a knee because that was a low blow. I don't understand it. In the NFL, they call that all the time. Um,
Oh well, plus he had already gotten rid of it, and you can't go low on people like that. Like that's career ending.
yeah, that was just a poor choice by that linebacker.
Yeah.
All right, CU affirmed first down right there. We got 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in the first quarter. Sanders is 10 of 11 for 113 yards right now. So, I mean, he's been running for his life as usual, for it, but he has all kinds of time to throw. Our receivers are just not getting separation, and that includes Hunter right now. They
Well,
got
shown some replays where Hunter and other receivers are open, but it's that Sanders' decision has already been to drive to one side, and has
yeah,
if he goes through his progressions and options, he might find a couple people open, but it's hard to do when you're running for your life.
might be. All right, first down. We got 5 yards on that. We're still going from right to left. We are 2nd and 5 from the KU 44 at the moment.
Colorado, 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 from the KU 44. Let's see what Pat Shermer's got dialed up in the moment because KU had a blitz dialed up. Well, look at that. An underneath pass to Hunter in the middle of the field, and he just made about 20, 25 yards, pushed out of bounds around the 15 of Kansas. So let's see what we got here. And he's open. I agree. I do agree with you. Our receivers are open. You're right. Sanders just not going through his progressions like he should.
No, no. I got some special guests here in the studio with me. All of my dogs and my lovely wife.
No,
Oh, I
not.
can't even get in screen. There you go.
There you go.
Hey, good to see you, Gina.
Good to see you, Craig.
Ah,
Well, it's not a good game so far.
No,
No.
no,
I'm sorry.
it's been not what we were expecting. So while we're at commercial break here, BYU is driving against ASU right now. I think they're at ASU 30, about their 30-yard line. So who knows? BYU looks like about 50 seconds left in the second quarter there. So BYU is trying to drive, put some points on the board late. And, honestly, getting back to you real quick, if we could put a touchdown on the board here and go into half, down 20-14, we get the ball to start the second half.
So
So
that first possession becomes critical.
it does. All of a sudden, see you score here, get the first possession. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but go down and, put a touchdown in. How big would that be momentum wise to go? We're down 17-0 against these guys, and we've outscored them 21-3 in the last four, possessions.
Come on. Well, yeah, I mean, we're spending the day getting ahead of ourselves, and we've already decided many things, and we're not even at halftime. So, you got to go with the data that we have, and right now we're driving, and that's key. And I think we're what, down on the 19? Is that right? Yep, 19 for the first down. So we got 1st and 10 on KU's 19. Colorado has the ball, 1st and 10. 56 yards in this drive, currently taking 1 minute and 50 seconds, and that still leaves $1.57 too many right now for Kansas because we can't stop them at all.
No, we cannot at the moment. It's just, we look like we brought our junior varsity defense today. That's for sure.
I agree. And responding back to Jeremy, seems like too much focus on the possibility of Prime going to the NFL this week and not enough prep. I 100% agree. Like when you get like all the Michael Irvins of the world weighing in and being like, hey, if Shedeur gets drafted to Dallas, Dion's going to go coach Dallas. That's not the noise that we need. He seems like he's getting some good stuff committed here, and
Yeah, I mean, but CU's got to, all right, 1st and 10, steps up and touchdown. Yeah, number 6, Miller on the middle of the field, perfect throw. Cornerback
again
turned around to see it.
No, those are the keys. We need Miller. We need Horn. We need. I'm gonna go back to the tight end from last week. Let me pull his name up because he got his 7th reception last week, and that was big. We need him. What's that?
We have a tight end.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
I think we have 2, right? Because one other guy had 1 reception, so we need to use him.
We need to use them. Well, right now we're not having a problem moving the ball anymore. We're moving the ball, but our D cannot stop them from moving the ball, and we are leaving. We left 1:51 on the clock right now, and KU can score in 1:51, no problem. They've shown it already in this game. So,
all right, so 14-20, which is great.
Yep.
Unless we give it back up after all the work to actually have a good drive.
We need the D to show up on this drive, shut them down. Like, just put a fork in them, force them to punt, and, maybe even burn a timeout or 2 and have, a little bit of clock where we go down, kick a field goal late or something like that. But I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I mean, at this point, I just want a defensive stop and a punt. Let's get
agreed.
Defensive stop and a punt. I would love to see our defensive line, if they throw the ball at all, actually sack this guy. I mean, we're 6th nationally in sacks, and we haven't even sniffed this guy the entire game.
We haven't got any pressure at all.
No, and Mata just kicked it off to about the 5-yard line, and special teams got him at the 20. So that's a good start right there. We've actually got him at the 20.
That's a great start, yeah.
But number 4, Devin Neal, their running back, he's been flexing all over us the entire game so far.
He's their top receiver and their top running back. Currently, he's got 130 total yards of their 264. So he's got half of their yards.
I know. That guy, he's good. I mean, I'll give it to him. The guy's, he's run all over us the entire game. We just have got to, we got to shut him down here. All right.
Well, there's a reason why
again, but of course they don't want to call that. All right, so we defended that pass. That's good. We actually were chasing the quarterback off to his right, and he had to force a throw that we actually got a hand on, which is really good. But so it's 2nd and 10 now. So let's stop the clock. Let's see what happens on 2nd and 10. Can we get some pressure again? That would be really nice. That would actually change the dynamic to get to 3rd and 10.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
like you said, use some timeouts. Like actually preserve some time.
yeah. I mean, come on. Let's see here. All right. So 2nd and 10, we actually are bringing a little pressure, and oh my gosh, running back out of the backfield. It looked like, or maybe it's a slot receiver, and he just broke off his route. Hot receiver and easy catch. And I don't even know who was covering him. Oh, uh, they created a natural pick with their receiver running down the field.
Yeah, so that was a 13-yard game. Luke Grimm again,
Well,
and first down Kansas.
if we're playing better coverage and playing more press coverage instead of giving him 10 yards, that pick won't happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, but that's not the
guys able
style
to
they
get
play.
away.
We play 4 down and cushion coverage.
Yeah, that's just ridiculous. All right, back out of the backfield, Neal. Oh, I just broke another tackle, 8 yards on that play. I mean, come on. The defense has got to stop these guys. This is getting ridiculous. I don't understand what is going on right now with the defense where we cannot stop these guys. Another running play on 2nd and 2. And I don't know if he got the first down or not. It's going to depend on the spot. It looks like they gave it to him. So 1st and 10, there's a minute 7 left, and they are, where are they? They got to be right around midfield at the moment. I mean, this is not what we needed from the D again. I mean, the D is just
Yeah, 1st and 10. Kansas has the ball, and they are on Kansas 43.
43. I mean, we have got to find a way to shut them down.
They're moving it. They
Way.
continue to move it.
Yep. They're running it again, and they got 3 yards on that play. So it'll be 2nd and 7. It's just below a minute left in the half at this point. Kansas running hurry up offense. CU wasn't even ready for that snap. Neither was our cornerback. He wasn't even out, and I don't know what he was doing. It looked like he was just jogging. I'd be benching that guy. That's the second or third play in a row I've watched him. Instead of running as fast as he can to get to a ball, he's just jogging at the moment. It's driving me crazy to watch that guy at the moment. They need to put somebody better on him because that's their number one receiver, Luke Grimm.
Luke Grimm, 8 yards. Now they're on the
Yep.
Colorado side of the field,
I don't know why
46.
they have Hunter on him. Shut him down completely. Oh, here we go. Designed run play for the quarterback, and he just ran for. Oh, geez, he's. Oh
He's
my
still
God,
running.
he just got down to the 15-yard line. 39 seconds left. CU's D looks so out of sorts right now and not even ready for the snap. Every play, they're running around trying to get somewhere, and the ref just took Hunter out. Hunter was in great place to make a tackle, and the ref totally took him out. It
31 yards. Yeah.
no flag.
Well, I don't think they can ask for any flags today.
No, this is ridiculous. I mean, KU has 186 yards of rushing offense. I mean, CU's D looks completely gassed right now. Like they got nothing. KU's going to score. KU's going to score a touchdown. They're 1st and goal to 2. KU is going to score a touchdown to end the half. We work all this way, and then Shiloh Sanders has him at right at the line of scrimmage. But what does he do instead of going
Goes
low
high.
and
Goes.
tackling? He hits him high, bounces off of him, and the guy just keeps running forward.
Yep.
Hit him low. That's how you tackle a good back. Hit him low, grab his legs. Oh God, I'd fire my defensive coordinator at halftime right now.
They have not made adjustments. When you are giving up 300 and almost 350 yards in the first half, or more than 350 yards,
Yeah,
yeah,
Dude,
that's not good.
yeah. I mean, their Neal, their top running back. I think that guy has as many yards as we have on offense.
Oh, he's got 87 and 50 and 65, 152. Yeah, he's got close. We've got
Close.
193 total. He's got almost that by himself.
Yeah, against you. So first and goal at the 3 with 32 seconds left. Man, this would be a great time for a turnover somehow. I mean, just a great time for a turnover. Oh, number 4. We stopped him at here for a 1-yard gain. KU is letting the clock run right now. 23. Now they call the timeout, it looks like. So 23 seconds. Second and goal from the 2. I mean, I will say, watching right now, our D just looks like they're in slow motion. They look like they just got nothing in the tank at the moment.
Well, I feel like they've been out on the field for over 20 minutes of the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, but a lot of this is self-inflicted. Not tackling well,
Yeah.
not playing press coverage and being up on receivers when it's 3rd and 8, things like that. I get KU's running a decent scheme today, but at some point in time, you have to change how you're running your D in order to step up here.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I got to think that with the success that Kansas has had, either with running the ball or even some of these short plays, they've got touchdown on the mind. Get it up to 27-14, get it back to essentially a 2-touchdown game.
Yeah.
Why not? And even if they get a field goal, it's still 9.
Oh, broken play, and we got him. Oh, it almost picked it off. I thought we actually had a knee on the ground before he threw the ball. I really do. I think they need to look at this. 14 seconds left. I think his knee was on the ground before he threw this ball. It was. Before the ball was out, his knee was on the ground. That's a sack right there. I think his knee is down. Yeah, the ball is out. CU officials, anybody should be reviewing this. And Hunter almost picked it off in the end zone.
Well, that's a huge
Yeah,
play.
they would be 3rd and goal from the 12. I think they need to be. My guess is they're looking at this right now as to whether he is that was a sack. Yeah, official review. I think his knee was down before the ball ever left his hand, which that would be a huge
And
sack.
that puts him back at the 8, something like that.
It looks like the 12 actually.
I think he advanced back up
Oh
past
yeah,
the
he did
10.
advance back a couple. You're right. That would be the 8, but I think he's yeah. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I think he's down.
I think so. And Hunter almost that ball. He almost had a magical. That would have been the interception of the turnover I was looking for right there. Yeah, I think he's down.
Just short. Let's see. It's his knee right there.
Yeah,
Oh, it's like almost the exact same time. It'll be close. And as the way that the play has been called so far,
yeah.
Kansas will be on the bright end of this one.
They probably will. This is critical right here. This is critical because 3rd and 8 or 3rd and goal from the 8 versus 3rd and goal from the 2.
Yep.
I
Oh, that
that,
changes the dynamics, and you're going to put them into a probable passing play. Although
yeah.
their running back is clearly capable of getting 8 yards.
Yep. Let's see what they're going to call. It looks like they're about ready to give the announcement. So let me see what they're going to call here. 14 seconds left. And let's see. I'm looking at. They're talking to Sanders a little bit about it.
It's close. I think they're going to call it incomplete.
Yep, I think they're going to still call it an incomplete pass, and I think that's. It was a tight play. I mean,
The score. We got a shout out from Coop. The score is currently Colorado 14, Kansas 20, but Kansas is down at the 2.
yeah,
3rd and goal with just a handful of seconds, 14 seconds left in the half, and looking to cash in either a field goal or a touchdown at this point.
yeah. All right, here comes the ref. He's seen enough. Let's see what he is going to. Yep, ruling of the field stands. Prime is not a happy camper. He's like, that's just garbage.
It was too close. I mean, it was simultaneous as his knee was touching. You could see that the ball was moving forward.
Yeah, that is gonna, man. CU's gotta pull it together for this third down. It's third and goal from the 2. Come on, CU. I mean, this is the play of the half right now. If we could somehow at least force them to kick a field goal, that would be huge. To only put 3 points on the board rather than another 7.
Yeah. Well, Kansas has had their way the first half. That's for sure.
They have, and CU's got to figure out. Man, oh, we blitzed and misfire. Fourth down and goal from the 2. What does Kansas do? Do they
I
just
I think they're going to kick it.
score?
I would think that they would go up by 2 scores. If you're going to go up by 9.
It looks like the offense is staying on the field. Looks like they had 2 plays called.
Well, not surprising that they can get 2 yards. Hand it off.
Oh, no, I see Hunter walking off the field, so I'm guessing they sent the field goal unit out there, actually. 14 seconds, 13 seconds left. I think he's going to, yeah, field goal unit's on the field. I think he's just going to call a timeout. There's 10 seconds left in the half, and I think he's just going to call a timeout. And, man, it'll be interesting. If they're calling a timeout on this, I'm curious as to whether they want to think this over a little bit more. Of, do we want to send the offense? No, they actually took a delay of game penalty. I think they decided that they didn't like the angle, or the kicker didn't like the angle they had, and they took a delay of game to move the ball back so he had a better angle. Yeah, that's what they did. Took a delay.
Interesting. Hey, well, you got to get comfortable. You want to get points. But although kicking it from the 2, that's a 19-yard chip shot. You make those all day long, regardless. But yeah, they were over on the left hash, right?
Yeah, they were. Let's see what they do. And yeah, just squeaked it inside the upright. That was actually tighter to the upright. Oh, there's a flag. What is the flag?
Oh, that'd be great if it was against Kansas. That might be the first dirty laundry on the field all day.
It's against CU. Offsides on CU. They declined it. They take the points. It's 23-14. That looks like that may be our score at the half. KU leading CU 23-14. But CU does get the ball to begin the second half, which that could be huge.
Oh, that first drive is going to be monumental
Yeah,
in being able to get down and get some points. Now you got a 2-score game. They've done well coming back from, boy, what were they down? 13 nothing.
was it 13 or 17?
17 nothing to 17-7, 20-7, 20-14, now 23-14. So it's
Yeah, this would be a huge. If the first possession in the second half, it'd be huge if we could go score a touchdown. All of a sudden, it's 21-23.
yeah, yeah.
And if somehow the biggest key in the second half is going to be, can the D make some adjustments and stop KU? I mean, BYU held them to what, 20 points or something. I mean, how in the world I mean, I think we have a better D than they do, and they
Not
just run
today.
all over us today.
Not today. Yeah. When looking at the
Oh, we decided to bring the kickoff out. Got it 13-yard line. If they were going to try one last thing, why not just let the ball
yeah, take it from the
go out
25. Yeah.
and got it at the 25? You got 7 seconds with 2 timeouts. Run about a 25-yard play at about the 50-yard line. Throw a hard out, and call your timeout real quick. You might have 1 second left. Throw a Hail Mary at that
Yeah.
point.
See what
Why not?
happens.
I see Livingston looks like he's aged a little bit in this first half right now. He he is certainly aged. It looks like he has a few more gray hairs than when he started the game. That's for
Oh
sure.
well, this was not a good half.
No, this was actually a pathetic. And since 2023, CU is 5-8 when trailing at halftime.
Not surprised.
Yeah, we're down by 9 points right now. KU, yeah, man, all I can say, I'll give shout out to KU. They came to
Big
play,
game.
and they've kicked CU's butt all over the field in the first half. Yeah.
There you go. Halftime stats. You've got KU dominating with 342 total yards of offense. 199 of that is rushing, almost one shy of 200 yards rushing, and it's been there all day. Like
Oh,
either the up the center or if the missed tackles have been crushing CU all day.
oh, they have. They've had. There's been many opportunities to get off the field today
Mm.
on down where they've missed a tackle or two that have cost them something. And I must admit, I know I've kind of harped on it today about the holding, but there's certain they, it's probably going both directions. The refs have not called anything on the lines, today.
Oh, they
Hold,
haven't barely called anything. I think there's been like 4 penalties, maybe.
yeah, they certainly have let everything kind of go.
Well, we'll do a quick rundown on scores, and then we'll take a quick commercial break,
Yeah, we're
and then come back. We've got Texas up on Kentucky with about a minute left in the second quarter, 21-7. Minnesota at halftime up on Penn State, 19-16. That is that one could be another good one to watch. As we noted earlier, Florida knocked off ninth ranked Ole Miss at the
yeah.
Swamp today, which is great. Michigan's ahead of Northwestern 17-6. Nebraska ahead of Wisconsin 24-10. Arizona State BYU was able to cash in a field goal at the end of the half there. It's 21-3 at halftime. Sticking to the Big 12, UCF 7, West Virginia 21. So great job for West Virginia. And I think that is where we are today. Big game this evening, Army Notre Dame. Would love to see Army continue rolling.
Yeah, that would be huge. That would be huge. And beyond that, any other big games tonight? Not really. I mean, there's just not a lot of big games on the docket.
Yeah,
Late night. Any big, 1 versus 5 type games out there?
not tonight. Next weekend, there will be some really big games. I was getting back to I think a stat I had noted earlier with Kyle McCord on Syracuse at halftime of that game had 333 yards passing at halftime. Syracuse did win the game against UConn 31-24. That gives Syracuse 8 wins for the season. Kyle McCord ended up 37 of 47 for 470 yards. So he had quite a day.
That is quite a day. That's what it's going to take, I think, today for Shadur Sanders for CU to win this game because they've got to find a few stops on D, make them punt, and then they've got to continue to go down the field. The pressure that's on the CU offense in the second half is immense because they literally can't have a punt. They've got to go down the field every time they have the ball and score because we haven't stopped KU once today.
No, no. Even when you had them, I think you've called it out a number of times. 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9s, and they rip off 20, 25 yards. Who was their crossing receiver? Let me pull up some stats here on the KU side.
Him, yeah, that number 11. He's hurt
Yeah.
a bunch today. That's for sure. Right now, that is for sure.
So we'll take a quick commercial break.
Quick break.
Brought to you by nobody today. Our sponsors didn't.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we'll be back in a few. All right. Thanks for sticking with us. As you can see, I don't know how these announcers do it. When you're sitting here broadcasting for, at the end of the day, going to be like 3 hours. I don't know how they do that. They never leave the air. They never go to the bathroom. They probably have somebody bringing them water, and you never see them eating food. But on our broadcast, we're a little unique. I got to refuel a little bit here. Well, hope our broadcast nation out there, our national audience of 4 right now, you're enjoying the additional commentary that my brother and I offer to the game, especially if you're unable to watch the game. Hopefully, we're keeping you up a little bit of down and distance information and some fun facts there overall. But I guess while we got halftime going here, I think when Todd gets back, he'll run through some stats at half. But I'll throw out some interesting, maybe not interesting stuff, but sit here and fill in a little bit. Top of the show, we talked about Julian Lewis, 5-star QB, withdrew or decommitted from USC about a week ago, and this week he donned a Boulder stocking cap and committed to CU. I mean, I think he's definitely going to be CU's quarterback of the future. And there's a lineman that just recently decommitted from CU too, and he's the top tackle, Curtis Smith. And rumors are definitely swirling that he may follow his what would have been his USC teammate to Colorado. So it'll be interesting to see, what exactly happens with that. Overall, there's no question that there's a bunch of uncommitted top 30 players right now that CU are really pushing hard on, and word on the street is all of those players that have been uncommitted, those top 30, there's 3 or 4 of them. They've all been seen on CU's campus in the last couple 3 weeks, touring the campus and or joining them on the sidelines for the game. So makes you wonder, all of a sudden you get a big name committing to CU, if it's going to sway a few of those players. And at the end of the day, CU's commit class, because I looked at it, Julian Lewis, he's the only 5-star they have. But of the other 10 players, 5 of them are 4 stars and 5 of them are 3 stars, and they're all rated pretty well. So he's obviously done, reasonably well on the recruiting front, even though he doesn't ever go to the living room of the players or anything along those lines. He sends his assistants there, and he really lives by having them come to CU's campus to see what CU's got to offer. But at the end of the day, I think Todd and I kind of talked about it a little bit at the top of the hour. It's going to come down to how much NIL money some of these places are offering, or the packages they're offering these players. I mean, these are college players, making more money in all reality, to try to go to college. And then, a lot of regular working stiffs like myself will probably make over my entire career working, and they're making it in 4 years. It's unbelievable the amount of money that's out there right now. With regard to that, I talked about Cash Cleveland, the center for CU. He is the first walk-on O lineman to ever start a game. So today is his first start. He actually got put into the game last week because I don't know whether it was the starter got hurt or he just hasn't been playing all that great. But ever since they put Cleveland in the game last week and this week, he seems to have shored up that front just a little bit. He did miss a key block early in the game on a 4th and 1 and allowed the Jayhawk defender to slip him and tackle, before the yard to gain. And unfortunately, it cost us a turnover on downs. But so far, from what I've seen, he looks like he's getting to the next level. When we have some running plays that are getting there, he's managing to get upfield and get to a backer, which is huge. I mean, our run game is not exactly the strength of our team. So, to have that happen, that's pretty good. I could say that Hunter, we haven't even talked about the Heisman hype or anything along those lines, but Hunter is definitely Travis Hunter is he's one of the top 2 out there right now. As far as being mentioned for the Heisman, nobody's doing what he's doing, playing 120 snaps a game, 110, 120 snaps a game, and he's dominating on both sides of the ball. Um, he has 3 interceptions on the defensive side of the ball, and he almost had a pick right there towards the end of the half. The ball just short hopped him a little bit. He's got 11 total touchdowns so far this year. And he also has a big fumble that he created on the goal line against, I think it was Baylor in overtime, that stopped him. So forced fumble. I mean, and Hunter's nearing 1,000 yards on the season. He's definitely the top receiver today. He's closing it. He's got to be closing in on 100 yards today already.
Yeah, I think at one point he was at 90, so he was that might have been where he ended the half, which is great.
Yeah, well, and if he's at 90, that means he's got 1,000 yards receiving on the season so far.
That's pretty darn good. I got me a rally cap.
You got yourself a rally cap. I'm gonna love this. Yes, I love it.
All right, we got to will the team on here.
Oh, we got to do something a little different here. I don't know. Maybe I need to go to the backwards ball cap for the game for a while and see what happens here. Because
That's right.
CU is certainly has not had the better of this game. Offensively, we're starting to look good. We're starting to move the ball, and we're moving it with no problem. And honestly, there's not a ton of pressure on Sanders. He is running around a lot for his life. It's just because there's nobody open, and he just has to move out of the pocket and kind of create some more time. But there's been a few plays. He's had the ball back there at least 10 seconds before he threw it, and nobody laid a hand on him. So they're not putting, a ton of pressure on him at the moment as far as, getting sacked every other play or anything like that. But there's no question that there's a lot of pressure to go down the field and score every time. Yeah, Jeremy, pipe it in. They're capable. Defense just has to show up. You're absolutely right. That D line has got to start dominating the KU O line and at the point of attack. And the
Well,
linebacker,
they were showing some of that. I mean, they started
they
showing
are.
signs of shutting them down for a couple of yards at a go, but it's those huge gouge plays that
Oh,
25 yards at a go.
and they've probably had half a dozen of those today. They
Yeah.
literally probably had half a dozen of those today where they have managed to run 20 yards down the field off of a small pass play and or something else. So I don't know. We're gonna see what the D can do.
Look at like even Luke Grimm, who's number 11, their wide receiver. The dude only has 28 yards receiving, 3 receptions, so a yards per reception of less than 10. But they're all in critical spots, and he's getting 11 yards on 3rd and 10. He's getting 9 yards on 3rd and 8, and like he's in the right spot at the right time. So, like you said at the end of that half, kudos straight up to Kansas for the game plan, and it's falling in line from a stat perspective. Their quarterback, I think he's back in line at 60% or less of his passes completed, so he's not the problem right now. The problem is the running backs and Daniels as the runner.
Yeah, they have got to find. I mean, he has half their offense, and really from a passing perspective, we've probably done better than I think we had because you take away that one huge pass that they had on their opening drive for 50 yards, you take that yardage out, and they probably have less than 100 yards. They probably only have 50 or 60 yards passing at that point for the game.
Yep.
And we're starting to force some incompletions by him. He's starting to, we're getting a little more pressure on him, which means he's throwing, not setting his feet, not having as much time as he had in order to do, throw the ball. But the problem is that number 4 guy, whenever he gets the ball rushing wise, he's just lighting us up, and we're unable to stop him in any way, shape, or form.
Especially when he gets his shimmy on and he's
Yeah.
breaking tackles, he's making people miss. He's 5'11". We talked about it, slippery dude, and clearly he's got grease on him today because anytime Colorado puts a handle on him, he just runs right through him.
Well, and the biggest thing is they got to start tackling that guy low. And that's what the D coaches have got to be talking to him. If you take a shot at that guy, go low and wrap up. Don't hit him. Go low and wrap up
Yep.
because they've hit him a bunch, but he just bounces off of him and keeps going for another 10 yards, and it's clear when Jalen Daniels is in the open field, we're struggling tackling him too. Every time he's broke containment, the guy's getting 10, 15 yards a pop.
Yep. Well, because everyone's already cleared out. The linebackers have dropped back like we're
Yep.
playing some kind of prevent defense, and there's a cushion there for
Yeah.
anybody. I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas started going across the middle a
Yeah.
lot because it's open. When you have a linebacker lined up either against your tight end or Grimm, one of their wide receivers, it's going to be a mismatch all day long.
Well, and I hate to say this though, this is exactly what KSU, Kansas State, did to us.
Yep.
They got everybody to drop, gave them that 10 to 15 yard cushion. And on top of that, our linebackers are not fast.
Yep.
Our linebackers are very slow, and they have to take really good angles in order to get good tackles. Otherwise, they will be beat. And so far in this game, there's been a few times that whoever they're covering has run away from them.
Yep.
That you can't stop somebody when you can't catch them. So that's what KSU exploited against us. They constantly put running backs against our linebackers and put pressure on our linebackers to make the plays, and our linebackers couldn't make the plays. They're good at stopping the run, but they're not so good in pass coverage.
Yep. No, I agree. And giving a quick update on Arizona State was going for the dagger. Looks like they received the kickoff at the half. They went 12 plays, 71 yards down to BYU 4-yard line and went on it 4th and goal, and they turned it over on downs. Is that going to be the momentum change that BYU needs to instead of going down 24 or 28 to 3, they hold them 21 to 3. Now they're in a similar position as CU right now. Now that drive is important.
It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, that's for sure. And some of the highlights that were at halftime, they were showing some highlights of that Arizona State game. Looked like BYU was suffering from the same problem CU was. A lot of missed tackles. You could see where they were hitting their running back and actually getting him, but he was either hitting them and not wrapping up, or he was just running through their tackles, and the guy would then break it for 20 yards. So I see some similarities right now, and they're not good similarities, between BYU and CU and how their game plan is rolling today and their defense and what the defense is really accomplishing or not accomplishing in this case.
Yep. No,
So
agreed.
looks like we're getting ready now for the second half kickoff. Looks like we're about coming back. All right, we are coming back to Arrowhead. Again, at the top of the broadcast, we talked about how Arrowhead for Colorado teams kind of the house of horrors, you know. So I don't know. Maybe CU somehow in the second half has made enough adjustments on offense. I mean, I'm looking at this total yards, 342 yards for KU in the first half, 192 for Colorado.
Yep.
That just the only way you can say it, that's a butt kicking.
Yeah, to be on pace for 600 to 700 yards total offense because you're having your way, not a good thing.
No, and CU, if they can figure out number one how to tackle, that would help. And number two is defensively, they've got to make some adjustments to where number 4, if they can take him out of the game, it'd be interesting to see what KU does now to make adjustments because.
Yep.
If you can shut down number 4 for the most part, you've taken their biggest weapon away from them. Now where's this going to go? So, and I'm sure KU's making adjustments because CU went down the field 2 straight drives with no problems, just right down the field. So
Yep.
here's the kickoff. CU is going to be going from left to right on our football screen here. And I can tell you, this number 40, their kicker, he's got a big leg. This guy, I think, could boot it out of the end zone every time. He doesn't even look like he puts a lot of effort into it. He did put this one in the field of play, and our kick returner dropped it. Oh, my gosh. He's broke free.
He's going.
Oh, and he fell down just shy of the 50-yard line. The turf monster
Turf
got
Monster ate him up again.
yeah, he was
That's the trifecta.
he was just about to make a move and completely tripped himself off because he was the punter or the kicker was trying to push him to the sideline. He was about to cut inside of him.
Totally wiped out. Hey, you know what? A positive start of the half, and again for those just
Yep.
joining or rejoining, Colorado down 14-23, Kansas on top, and Colorado starting the second half with the ball, and this is kind of a very important must-have drive.
Must have. All right. First play from scrimmage. Shadur a little pitch out to number 7. I'm not even sure who number 7. Oh, that's Hayden. He's a running back. He transferred from Ohio State. There was nothing down the field, and he was his outlet, and he just got about 15 yards as the outlet.
That's a
Just
great
ran
start.
touched. We're on at the KU 36 now. One play and a kickoff return to the drive. We're at the 36 already. And oh, that ball got deflected. KU deflected it. They had a similar play set up, and it looked like he would have gone for another 10 yards, but the defensive end timed his jump beautifully and defended the pass play perfectly. Yeah, he would have gone another 10 yards. He easily had some open space, but that KU backer got up in the air, that defensive end, and knocked it down. Haven't even
Second,
talked about the defensive ends for KU. Both of them have 5.5 sacks each. I mean, they're pretty formidable on the inside there, or the outside. So we just ran it. We got about 4 yards on that run play. So it's going to set up a third in. Looks like 3 yards. So it's going to set up a 3rd and 7 from, looks like the
the
KU
33.
33.
Yep.
So this is a big third down. I mean, we don't want this drive to stall because our kicker doesn't have the leg to kick a 40 some odd yard field goal.
That's 50 right now.
Yeah, he
That's
doesn't have the
17.
leg. He doesn't have the leg to do that. If so, we'd have to go for it because he does not have the leg to kick that field goal. All
Well,
right.
they had it, and they've already been 0 for 1 on 4th down.
All right. Sanders ran it for first down. Got flushed out of the pocket a little bit, but the middle of the field was wide open, and all he did was push it up the field. If he'd have run a little sooner than he did, he would have had a lot more real estate.
Hey, again, positive yards. Like you noted, the offense hasn't been the problem, at least for the second quarter on. First quarter, they were the problem. They couldn't do anything. Defense couldn't do anything.
Yep. Oh, we tried that stupid flanker screen to Hunter, and he lost the yards. 2nd and 11. They had that. They had that well defended. Both of the. I mean, the problem is with that flanker screen, it works better when you have cornerbacks that are
Playing
playing
on.
ball,
Yep.
not playing tight like their cornerbacks
Oh,
are. Their cornerbacks are playing tight to us.
oh, they're all 2 yards up, and ours are essentially 9 yards up.
Yeah, that's just it. So 2nd and 11 now from 20 something yard line. We got about 8 seconds to get the play off. Come on. What were the refs holding everything for? We barely got that play off in time. Come on, Sanders. Sanders, get rid of the ball. He's going to get sacked like 50 yards back. Oh my gosh. Sanders, throw the ball away. That's intentional grounding. He broke the tackles, but he never got the ball back to the line of scrimmage. Let's see what. Yep, they called intentional grounding on it.
That's not it. That's not going to be good,
Oh,
especially when you have that much time to get rid of it. Just throw it out
throw
of
the
bounds.
ball away. Just
Yeah,
throw the ball away out of bounds and be done with it. And
I
if I'm
know. Yeah,
quarterback,
you can't always be looking to get the big play and to go forward. Sometimes it's the smart play. Just throw it out.
oh my gosh, that should have been a penalty right there. Down the field, Hunter got mugged and tackled 15 yards down the field. I mean, that's illegal contact. And Sanders should have. Oh, defense. There was they called a second foul on the play. Defensive holding. That's the one I was saying. Hunter was like tackled in the middle of the field, basically 15 yards down the field. I'm like, so second, with all of that being done, offsetting penalties, 2nd 11 again. I think what they need to do is roll Sanders out. And he hasn't hit Shepard once today.
Yep.
You
Or
know, he's
is
got
is
to
Horn,
find
is Horn playing today or is Horn out?
Horn has been out. I think he's hurt. He came out hurt a number of games ago, and I haven't seen him playing since then. So I'm not sure what injury he's got because they have a different kick returner. Horn's their normal number one kick returner. Sanders didn't even see the blitzer, but we got it away, and Hunter just scored a touchdown.
All right. All right. So, though, a critical drive.
Yep.
We needed the outcome, and through some of the ridiculous circus that happens when you run for 60 yards on one play and then you have offsetting penalties, the
Yeah,
outcome is what we needed it to be.
we are. Hunter, the cornerback lost Hunter, let him get behind him because he was shading up to the short route, and the safety never came over fast enough, so he was wide open in between them. And as the safety tried to move in for the tackle, he just juked him and walked into the end zone. So that's what is that? His 11th.
26 yards. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's his 11th pass receiving touchdown on the season. He's got one rushing touchdown.
Gives him
Again,
12. Yeah.
yeah, and he's got 12 total TDs on the season. Heck of a player.
Oh, and he had him beat on that. So, as much as we have faith that the offense is going to continue to do its job, we haven't seen the defense yet in the second. So,
Hey, look at that. Brandy and Brian are on.
hey, Brandy and Brian, thanks for the love, man.
Yeah, I like that. You got a shout out there and love the hat. I like it.
Yeah, well, hey, it's the rally hat because we were clearly in desperate need of some good fortune in the second half. So far so good. Opened up with a
At
touchdown. It took just
Sydney.
over 3 minutes.
So I'm assuming that the hockey game is now over. If Sydney's joining back in.
Yeah, no, the ears were freezing cold just based on how our defense has been playing. But now they're warming up. Although we need to see how the defense is going to come back. Perhaps the rally cap can go away.
Maybe. And Todd, you were talking about that BYU. ASU went for the knockout kill, right?
Yep.
And BYU just scored. And they're about to be down 21-10 now. They
All
took
the way from that 4 yard line. Like that could be the momentum breaker.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, I see Sydney's chiming in. What's the score of the game there, Sid?
Oh, so they're keeping the win streak alive. 4-1.
Winning 4-1. I like that. I wish
Nice.
winning about 40-10 right now, because that would make this much easier second half. But I guess this is going to be it right here. We're going to see what adjustments CSD made at the half. They either made adjustments to make them punt at some point in this game, or they made adjustments and KU's still going to go down the field and score touchdown after touchdown after touchdown on us. So this is
No.
a huge play.
Well, that was a definite need drive. Still, after all that, we have held the ball for a total of 12 minutes this entire game so far. So, from a time perspective, it's hard to beat the clock when the other team is holding it for 2/3 of the game. And
Oh,
at this pace, Kansas would be on track to hold it for close to 40 minutes or over of a 60-minute game. And it's not very often that you're going to have a team that's going to be able to outshoot that when they're getting eaten up.
yeah, I know. This is all right. Hunter's sixth game with 100+ yards receiving today. Tied for most games in school history in a season with 100 yards. This is going to be huge right here. We're kicking off KU, another short kickoff as usual by Mata. He's just not good. And special teams right there, man, stop him at the 20-yard line. I mean, that's a good start again, but let's see what the D brings. This is
Yeah, yeah. Oh, man, when you stop them that close, it just gives Kansas a bigger stat line when they just drive down 80 yards.
yeah, I
Might as well give it to them at the 50. So it only on paper you're only giving up 50 yards.
I know. This is huge. We need to flip the script this half to where their defense is on the field a lot, because our offense will just run down the field at that point. We got to flip the script this time.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. a blitz. Oh, and a takedown in the backfield. They got it. They called
Oh,
the flag
finally.
on a blitzer that got tackled in the backfield. So play number 1, we blitzed. That's a change right
That's
there.
a huge change.
Huge change. And we got a holding call out of it. So it's going to be 1st and 20 now from the 10-yard line. 1st and 20. So let's see what we bring. That was a change right there.
Well,
We
the problem
after
with
that blitz.
the problem with getting the blitzing though is that you're going to leave big gaps, and it just takes number 4 a little bit to make it past that first line, and then he's going to go.
I know, but let's see what we only blitzed 1 though. So we only
Yep.
brought 1 guy. We left everybody else in coverage. So we had 6 in coverage. And so that was different. That
All right, so second and it's only 2nd and 11.
Oh, we declined I thought we took the penalty to be 1st and 20.
Oh yeah, you got to take him
So I
down.
had to take the results of the play, which was a sack,
Yeah.
and see what we do now here. We're sneaking up for a blitz again. A
Well,
run.
it was clear they needed to bring some pressure at some point.
Oh, and again, a missed tackle again. We had him in the backfield, missed the tackle, and the guy ran for 30 yards. And now
Yeah.
there's a flag on the play. And Shiloh Sanders tackled him. It looked like he was hanging on to the back of his jersey. So are they going to get a 15-yarder on top of this? Please tell me it's holding in the backfield.
Oh, that would be huge.
I don't know why they declined that penalty. They should have taken that penalty and made it 1st and 20, not 2nd and 11. Because 2nd and 11, you keep them in their offense.
Yep.
Their offense. 1st and 20, you have a personal foul. Yep. Call the horse collar.
On Sanders?
Yep. So 15 yards. So they're going to be at like our 35-yard line, 2 plays into this. Why did he not take the penalty? Make it 1st and 20 from the 10-yard line.
Wow, I think they're trying to get him. Yeah, just seeing the play now. That's not so good. I don't know. That seemed like a pretty soft penalty.
Well, it was a soft penalty against them on the same penalty.
Yeah, he didn't even have that. But I mean, he didn't grab him violently and throw him down. He was just escorting him out of bounds.
Yeah, and so they're 1st and 10 at about the 38 of CU, and they took a false start right away. So it's 1st 15. I'm flabbergasted that they didn't take that 10-yard holding call. Make it 1st and 20 from the 10-yard line.
Take him out of their offense. Yeah.
Take him out of their offense. And that's Prime calling that. And that was a poor call by him. That was bad because you didn't take him out of their offense.
Yep. Yeah, you just keep them in the same rhythm. We've had them 2nd and 11, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9.
Oh, well, there's actually a decent tackle by 23 Stoutmeyer, number 4, right there. He actually went low and got him. Right now, they're showing it. They're showing today 15 missed tackles by the D so far.
I'm not surprised. Yeah. I mean, they can't stop him. I'm telling you, the dude's got grease on him.
Yeah, I mean, and the sad part was on that play, they had a run blitz again, and the guy was right there at his feet and couldn't bring him down. So we're 2nd and 9 now. CU has the defense has got to figure some shit. Shiza out there. Sorry, I about drop that. They got to figure something out here.
That's a big slip. That's going to drive subscribers, man.
It might. Oh, there's a Hunter almost picked that ball off. He cut right.
See, that's the next thing that we need, regardless of whether or not it's Travis Hunter. We need a turnover.
We
can't get pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, and look at this. The second adjustment of the game, they put Hunter on Grimm, their top receiver. They finally put Hunter on their top receiver now, and Hunter almost made a circus catch diving for that ball.
3rd and 9, Colorado 37. This would be a big stop.
This would be a huge stop.
After giving 15 yards plus a 29-yard run.
Oh, and now they ran it for 15 yards. Again, the same guy. Come on.
No, I mean, why would you not do that? If you were Kansas, you would keep running the same guy.
They know who's getting the ball.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been huge to have that pickoff by Hunter. He had it, too. He should have had it.
This is ridiculous. This is honestly ridiculous that Nothing's changed. I can see a couple adjustments they made, but we can't stop number 4.
Well,
Again,
but from Kansas's perspective, why would you? They're not going to change their game plan. They're just going to keep running it, and
no.
until we show we can stop something.
Yep.
Yeah.
This this is just this is so frustrating to watch right now that we cannot stop that guy at all. I mean, how many times has he ripped off 25 yards today?
Well, yeah. He either gets 2 yards or he gets 15 or more.
Yeah, there's no in between. The guy's not running. He is either gouging us for huge plays or we're stacking the line of scrimmage. And it's just this is frustrating to watch right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all right. So first down, 10 ball on Colorado 23. So this is again another moment. Hey, all right. So we gave that play up. Now we need to regroup. And at the end of the day, if we can force them to a field goal,
Yeah,
we know
that
we can put touchdowns on the board. And we haven't been within spitting distance. The problem is they get another touchdown, they're up by 9 again,
yep.
and that you can't just trade back and forth with a team that hasn't punted yet.
No, you've got to force them out. Period. And yeah, it would be a minor victory right now to hold them to a field goal. And if we could work somehow, go back down the field, score another touchdown, and go ahead in the
Take
game.
the lead. Yeah, I mean that would change a lot of the perspective in that you're no longer playing catch up, and
Yeah.
but your defense still hasn't shown that they can stop anything.
No, they cannot stop number 4. Number 4, by the end of the day, if they don't stop him at all, he's going to have 300 yards of offense by himself.
So,
It's,
yeah.
and
Oh,
at some point, somebody on CU's got to get mad enough to go, we're done with this and we got to figure this out. Either that or the coach has got to be like, send me somebody off the bench that wants to make a play on this guy.
I feel like it's going to be Hunter tends to get on people pretty quick on the sideline there. Quick
Yeah.
update while we're on break. BYU missed their extra point or they went for two and it was 21-9 and ASU has now thrown a 61-yard completion to go up
Oh,
27-9.
oh, well,
So the old punch counter punch.
yeah, punch, counter punch. Well, all right, 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line of CU. KU's got the ball. We really could use a turnover right now. Oh, and CU's offsides on that play. Oh, and then that's incidental contact. Quit arguing. The receiver, Hunter, and the receiver's feet got tangled up and the receiver went down, but they're never going to call that because that's incidental contact where your feet just get tangled up.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
we mistimed the snap and gave him a free 5 yards offside. So now it's going to be 1st and 5 at the 18-yard line.
Yep. And I sense number four or their second running back,
20.
and yeah, Morris I think or McCaster, he was tearing us up for a while too.
Yeah. Well, I guess we're going to see if CU can bring anything because it's 1st and 5 at the 1st and 5 at our 18-yard line. Again, they handed off number 4, 6 yards, first down.
Yep.
Nobody even touched him.
That's his. He's right on cue. I mean, the dude's got 136 yards, and now he's got 142 yards.
Yeah. And
He's eating it up today.
guys, just the defense cannot stop them. I just don't understand how they cannot stop this offense right now. They're
Yeah, it
not.
looks like it's 2nd and 1.
Oh, it is 2nd and 1. I thought he made a first down. Well, they
Yeah.
handed it off to him again, and guess what? 5 more yards. I mean, come on. Where are the linebackers right now? What are they doing?
Oh,
Linebackers
he's having
pulling
himself a
holes.
day. That dude is up to.
Oh yeah, here we go. They went no huddle. Oh, and we're offsides again. Shiloh Sanders absolutely offsides again. They are now what they're
Is he
trying.
is he looking to blitz?
Yeah, they're looking to blitz and they're trying to time a snap count. And the quarterback is politely just pausing everything and letting us jump off sides. That's twice in the
Yeah.
last 3 plays we've jumped off sides.
Well, Devin Neal's taking us down in a big, big way. The dude's got 210 yards total offense by himself today.
Oh my gosh, come on, Shiloh. That was just pathetic. I mean, we're just giving him more yards. Come on.
Well, there's a discipline piece of it that we're now starting to fail on.
Yep, total discipline piece. Now it's 1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Yep.
And guess who's going to get the ball? I'm going to take a wild guess. Number 4 did.
Or they're going to use him as a decoy, and they're going to use their quarterback is going to run it in.
Yep, at some point they are. They're going to absolutely just.
Wow, just seeing the Shiloh Standards play right now, and he should have just actually caught the ball that was being hiked.
I think so. Might as well. I mean, yeah. So, all right, 2nd and goal from the 4. They didn't make anything on that play, but these guys got to man up a little bit. This is pride. Now you gotta get a stop.
This is the short, compact time of the field where yards get tough. People are. Oh, that's not a good thing.
It's gonna be 3rd and goal at the 1.
All right.
3rd and goal at the 1. Again, hand is number 4, and they cannot stop him. I don't understand what they're doing. And the backers are constantly just running around like with their heads cut off. Again, they're going to hand it number 4 again. And again, he scored. I don't understand what they are doing.
Well, again, why would you change if you're Kansas?
Why would you? But at CU, why can you not change?
Oh, well, they gotta start filling the holes. Like they got like motion and thing going on. Their linebackers are shifting all around rather than filling the holes.
Yeah, fill the holes. Stop chasing a ghost right now.
Yep.
Our linebackers all went with the flow of the play. Our safety was the only one left right there. We had one safety left. The linebackers all went with the play rather than reading where the ball's going.
Defense is not bringing it today.
Nope, not.
They cannot solve this guy.
This is ridiculous. This is actually just embarrassing that they've given up what they are with this guy. So CU is now down 8 minutes into the 3rd quarter. We just went down 30-21. And I mean, this cannot get into where if CU has to punt it all, they go down and score on us again. I mean, this is the kind of game where a coach has got to pull a DC aside and pull the D aside and be like, you guys either need to fix this or I'm sending in all the scrubs at this point. You guys can sit over here. Either start pulling it together and make some plays and get off the field.
Well, you look at it. I mean, but contributing to that particular drive, you had Sanders giving up 15 yards on a personal foul. You had 5 yards offside. You had another 5 yards offside. So that's 25 yards of penalties.
Well, and on top of that, they didn't even take the holding call.
And they didn't take the holding call.
Yeah. They should have, which would have pushed them back to the 10-yard line. In the NFL, they would never decline that penalty. They would never
take that.
do it.
Yeah.
Unless they sacked him for like an 8-yard loss and it's going to be 2nd and 18. Sure, you're going to decline that penalty because now they lost the down and they're back further. In this case, take them out of the normal offense and put them there.
I think today it's not going to matter. They're going to be able to go down 20 yards, 25 yards at a hit. So you want first and 20 or 2nd and 11, they'll gouge you for 15 or 18.
I know. Hey, well, BYU went down and scored again. So BYU is now looks like they're either going to kick an extra point or try for a 2-point conversion. But right now, the BYU Arizona State game is 28-15. BYU just got a 2-point conversion, so it's 28-17. So it looks like right now, BYU and CU are both ranked higher, are both losing, and both of them have got to find a way to stop the other team they're playing and get off the field.
Oh, yeah. They certainly do. On another change, Penn State now ahead 23-22 against Minnesota with about 3.5 minutes left in the 3rd.
Nice.
Minnesota's got the ball driving 1st and 10 on Penn State's 35.
Okay. Texas is leading 24-7 right now. Clemson's up big, 45-7 over to the Citadel. South Carolina is winning 28-9 over Wofford. I mean, what is that? How do you get a team that stinks that bad playing that late in the season? I mean, granted, we're playing KU, but KU's a better team than their record shows. There's no question.
Oh
They
yeah.
have put it together as of late pretty well, knocking off 2 straight ranked teams and playing their 3rd straight ranked team in CU. So, this is interesting. How CU is going to respond to this. CU, let's see here. They kicked the ball off to us, and we managed to make it to the 23-yard line. Yeah, let's see here. This is just they're replaying that last touchdown, which was just bad. I mean,
Well, I mean, we need one stop. I mean, if it's going to trade, we need one stop.
we
But
need,
like you said, the problem is that we put ourselves in a position far more frequently to have a stop against us because all we do is throw the ball.
I know. Well, and we have. I mean, shoot, they have 100. Their one guy has 149 rushing yards, and I think we don't even have 50 rushing yards yet today. And we just tried a handoff down the line. Our running or our wide receiver just ran behind the line, and just a little inside handoff to him went for nothing. So it's 2nd and 11. Again, we're putting all the pressure on us because our D cannot get off the field today.
Yep.
Can't get off the field at all.
Well, they've been of the 37 minutes, 38 minutes of the game, they've been on the field 20, almost 26.
All right, Sanders throws the ball. Looks like Shepard got it. It's either 3rd and 1 or it's a 1st down. I don't know what they're giving him right now. Let's see what
that might be the first completion to Shepard.
Yeah, it is the first. And Sanders got hit right as he released it. I think he. Nope, they're calling it 3rd and 1. That was a poor spot where the ball was relative to anything else. That's a poor spot. See, here's where bring in 2 tight ends and just say we're going to run the ball for this 1 yard right now.
Yeah. Instead, it'll be the last thing we need to do is throw it for 15 yards.
Yep, but instead, Sanders is going to get sacked because we tried just this goofy play instead of just handing the ball off. And Sanders took umbrage with the guy basically putting a knee in his head, I think, and is trying to find out why there was no flag thrown, But anyway, I just don't understand. They tried this trick play to run, God, it's hard to describe how poor the decision making was by Sanders right there. Just how poor it was. You had one guy to your right that he could have pitched it to that he might have been able to get the yard, but instead he was waiting for Hunter to come all the way across for an inside handoff to him on the flanker side again. And the play got completely blown up.
Oh, yeah, you got to do something much faster. I'm just seeing it now. Come on. And you got one-on-one coverage on the outside. Like, you could have done a bunch of stuff.
Oh, there was a block. Yeah, they already threw one flag, which I think it was offsides on. I think KU was offsides, but let's see what they're gonna. Look, yeah, it's against KU.
Well, it didn't matter. I mean, what was it? 4th down and 8 or something?
Legal formation against us. Legal formation against us, which that means the penalty be added on at the end of the play.
Yeah, too many people. Not enough people on the line.
Yeah, I mean this is. I mean, at some point, CU's just got to get pissed. KU just looks like right now they have a chip on their shoulder and they're playing that way. We do not look like we have a chip on our shoulder at the moment.
Well,
We're just getting out muscled at the point of attack in a lot of places. And at some point, somebody's got to step up and say, this running back is not going to run anymore against us. We're going to shut him down.
That their offense, Kansas's offensive line they're having their way. They're opening up the holes. They're getting the right things, and then you compound that with, what'd you say, 15
missed
broken tackles. Yeah.
Yeah, poor tackling day, compounding everything.
You cannot have all those missed tackles. Like, come on.
No, you can't hope to win. So far, this is not what I wanted to see out of the defense or the offense in the second half. Offense, we got the ball start the second half. We did score, but then that was just a bad 3 and out right there, where Sanders took it's 3rd and 1. Just set up and run the ball.
Get a yard. Well,
Right,
that's the problem. Is
6.
well, we don't have a running game, and they're not afraid of a running game. When we line up to run the ball, we run right into our own guys and to the line. So it's okay, roll them out, do a pitch it, you
Yeah,
know, get
do
get something
something.
going lateral and then up the field, not a flanker screen.
Yeah, there is no Shermer. I mean, it's the reason he's not in the NFL anymore. His offense didn't transform itself as everything started to transform in the NFL. He stayed with a lot of things. This guy's been around for 30 plus years,
Hmm.
calling plays, but he just sticks with a lot of the same stuff,
Well,
rather than,
that's why you see flanker screen 2 plays in a row.
yeah, it's like, come on, seriously. All I can say is D somehow has to help the offense out at the moment. They have got to get off the field
Oh,
and
we need a 3 and out to get it back
turnover,
even. Yeah.
anything. We need something that will kickstart the defense a little bit.
Hmm. A sack, that would be huge. But Arizona State currently driving.
Yeah, they are. Shadur's lucky he didn't get kicked out of the game. He pushed the ref from behind when he was trying to get at one of the KU linemen that, false start on KU. Oh, yeah. That was funny.
That's a good start.
Our defensive lineman, though, he just got knocked down and then just played like he was dead. And the other guy came up and gave him a little bit of CPR right there. That was too funny. That was pretty funny right there.
Well, they need something to laugh about right now.
They do. That was pretty darn funny. We need that with our D a little bit, but see, again, we forced them into a couple penalties in these early drives. But question is, can we stop them now? Where's number 4? Keep on number 4. He's getting the ball. Oh, they slipped it to number 47. No, he was down. He was down. He fumbled it, but his knees were down. So it's going to be 2nd and like 6. That was where they used number 4 as the decoy,
Yep.
and number 47 got the ball.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's the value that number 4 brings to
oh,
the game at this point.
I wish they would have thrown it number 4 because we actually had him covered that time. We actually got play sniffed out for him, but they had an underneath screen set up. They had 2 screens set up on it, and the quarterback just had a choice of where to throw the ball, and that was that. So, all right, the handoff number 4 again. Oh, we stood him up at the line of scrimmage. You got a couple yards. So 3rd and 3 or 4. See the D. Come on.
This
Come
has
on.
got to be a big one. Come on. We need
Come on.
a stop. One stop today.
I know this is where honestly I go for an all out blitz. Just cover 0 blitz. Everybody is on an island. Cover 0 blitz. They're pushing number 4 out. I don't know what they're gonna do if now he's setting back in the backfield. I just think CU all out blitz, and that is it.
I don't think they'll bring that.
Oh,
They'll line up
jumped.
3.
I think we jumped. Number 11 caught it. Oh, now they're gonna call targeting because he got hit in the helmet. I guarantee
Well,
you, 15-yard penalty on us for targeting. I don't know why Hunter wasn't on him. You knew where the ball was going if they were throwing it. Yep.
yeah, seems like that was a good
Oh,
adjustment.
Sanders targeting.
Oh, well, because he goes high all the time.
Oh no, the guy was going down and he's led with his helmet like he always does. And if, yep, Well, to his defense, the receiver did lower his head down, but Sanders led with his head. But the receiver did kind of crouch down and put himself in a position where he was going to get hit. I don't know how you can not, you know, that that's a tough one because Sanders was already going low.
Yep.
Already the first one dropping down, and then the receiver dropped down into him.
Yeah. No, that's a hard one.
That
And it wasn't. I
almost
mean,
a
you.
guy.
Yeah.
That's what irritates me the most is Sanders was going in already going low. And then but Sanders has got to learn to actually tackle people, not just hit
Oh, he always leads with his head and his shoulder.
always. And this could be the second game of the year he's been kicked out of. I think he got kicked out of a game earlier this year. Oh, again, D can't get off the field and here we go. Here's the
Well,
call.
he didn't lead with the crown. He turned the side of his head.
Good. He's in the game. They all
Yeah,
right.
that was
Well, I
that.
don't know if they're giving it if that's a 15-yard penalty or they take the penalty off of it because it was the receiver that dropped down into him.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So I guess we'll see where the ball is. I don't know where the ball is. It is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard
43.
line.
So that's where he got dropped on that.
That's where he got dropped. So come on, the D, figure this out. Pull your head out of your butt.
Luke Grimm, you're killing us, buddy.
Oh, number 4's got it. Oh, number 6 still has it. Oh, totally faked out our entire defense. Totally faked out our entire defense and then threw it back to the linebacker, or not the linebacker, but the tight end who just picked up 15 yards. I mean,
Yeah.
and I don't even know where the guy was covering him. He's like MIA.
Well, he probably went over the other way
Oh,
too.
the line, or yeah, everybody lost track of him as he just kind of went behind the defense and just kind of, that's just poor D. I mean,
Yeah.
come on, somebody
Well,
has to
it's
have
the
responsibility.
discipline piece. Like, pick up your person.
Yep. Now there's a pitch, and oh wow, we made a positive tackle there. Tackle for a loss. I think that's our first or second one of the day.
There haven't been
Uh,
many.
It's going to be second and about 15. We actually stopped number 4. They had a little option, quarterback option there, where number 4 shouted him out to the left, and we had it pretty. We had 3 defenders there to 2 offensive players. So 2nd and 14 right now. 2nd and 14, and CU's D has got to figure this out. It's 2nd and 14 from the CU 46-yard line.
Oh, this would be
Oh,
anytime.
quarterback draw, and we missed 2 tackles there. He just did 2 spin moves. Both of our guys just dropped their head instead of staying there and wrapping up, and he got 12 yards. I mean,
Yeah.
2 of our guys had him. Just
Well, well, again, it's wrapping up rather than just trying to bang someone to the turf.
uh This has just been some of the poorest tackling. All I can say is that if there's a Pee Wee team out there, a Pop Warner team, they the coaches should show them how not to tackle.
Yeah, don't just lead with your shoulder all the time, thinking
Yeah,
that your weight's going to knock someone down.
yeah.
Or
Third and
third
two,
and two.
3rd and 2, and they just flanked number 4 out. He ran out of the backfield. Nobody went with him. Nobody went with him again. How do you let number 4 go?
Yeah, you gotta cover him. He's eating you up.
Yeah, and who cares where everybody's going? You have a responsibility over there. Cover the guy. Our D coordinator is just like, I mean, honestly, it's so many blown coverages and blown assignments out there by the D. That's not on the D coordinator. That is your D out there not doing something. You know,
Well, I mean, again, why don't we mix something up? Like it worked for a little bit to bring some pressure. Let's not try and time the blitz every time, but just bring some extra bodies in there.
yeah. So, all right, third quarter is ending. It's going to start with the fourth quarter, 2nd and 9 from about the CU, I don't know, 15-yard line. And like normal, we cannot stop them right now. We have not forced a single punt this entire game.
Nope.
This is one of the worst defensive. This is worse than the Nebraska game, where Nebraska throttled us the first half for 28 points, but then the second half we made all kinds of adjustments and they didn't score another point the rest of the game.
Oh no, I mean that ain't happening here. Like they're up to 30 minutes and 36 seconds of holding the ball, 459 yards, 24 first downs. Like you can't win a game when you don't have the ball,
No,
and where you let them just like eat things up.
yeah, they're just eating clock constantly,
Yeah.
and you've got to as a deep, you've got to find. I mean, just in this drive, watching the missed tackles continue. Number one,
Mhm.
when they have a play defended correctly,
Yeah.
they aren't tackling anybody. And then number two is the missed assignments where you got number 4 coming out of the backfield and nobody goes with him.
Pick them up. Someone's got to have them always.
At some point, somebody's got to be there.
Yeah.
And instead,
You can't just rely that, oh, the person over there is going to get him. He's your guy. Get him.
well, and to KU's credit, they're running a lot of misdirection.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line is going one way, and then they end up throwing the ball back the other way. But the problem is, CU, they've been doing this all game, and our defense continues to go with the misdirection. They're not staying home. They're not being disciplined right now.
Oh, they haven't been disciplined all game. Like
Yeah,
they're
it's
eating up.
poor defensively today. The players on the field are not executing well.
No, they are not.
Yeah. Thanks, Jeremy. Have fun watching the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness. This is just oy. This is just so frustrating. I mean, at least BYU's stopping Arizona. I mean, they forced a few punts in the second half already.
Oh,
See,
BYU's driving again. They're 2nd and 4 on ASU's 45.
oh, I mean,
If they get a touchdown here, they could pull it. If they go for two, oh, now they're down on the 27. If they go for two, they could get it within 3.
I know. All I can say is that CU better hope they hold these guys to a field goal right here. They have to. I mean, they're still going to be down by 12, and we have to go down and score. And somehow, some way,
Stop them.
the D has to stop them once to get the ball back.
Yep. And then to give yourself a chance for actually trying to take the lead.
I mean,
But this
I think I better,
2nd and 9, Colorado 18. The recipe is going to be kneel either out of the backfield on short throws, or he's going to get handed off the ball,
oh
or
no,
they're going to throw it to
quarterback
Grimm.
sneak. Well, not a quarterback sneak, but a design quarterback run. He only got 2 yards. Thankfully, our linebackers stayed home on that play and stayed in the middle of the field. Otherwise, he would have gone for 10 yards.
Yeah,
I,
3rd and 7.
yeah, this is ridiculous. Offensive plays today. KU has run 37 offensive plays in CU territory. CU has run a total of 30 plays.
I'm not surprised. I mean, KU had the ball the whole time.
They've had the ball the whole game. We haven't been able to stop them. All right. Critical 3rd and 7 from the CU 16. Let's see if we can actually stop them. They hand it off to number 4, and number 4 is about a half yard short of the first down.
So that's a big decision. Are they going to go for the
I think
knockout?
they're going to go for it. I think they are. I bet they go for it because if they get it, yep, they're staying on the field. Offense is staying on the field at this point.
Well, this is where they need like massive penetration. They're just going to hand it off. It's going to be a sneak. It's going to be something.
Yeah, I mean, again, you let the guy run for 6.5 yards.
Well, that's his average. That's what the dude does.
You've got to be able to stop it. No penetration. I don't. Ew, that's going to be close. Oh, the line judge gave him a really good spot. Of course he did.
Yeah, we did not need to give up a 4th and 1. Not on the 10. Now it's 1st and goal.
That is a tight spot. I mean, if he got it, he barely got it. I can tell you the line judge gave him a really good spot. But because our tackler actually got low on him for the first time. Yep. 1st and goal, 13 minutes left at the 9-yard line. We have got to hold them out of
Oh,
the
yeah.
end or get a turnover somehow. Guess what? Handoff to number 4. Huh.
Shocker. You got
Shocking.
you got no answer for it.
Nope, they haven't had an answer the entire game. He got 3 yards there. 2nd and goal from the 6. I bet this play is going to be a fake to number 4 and a throw.
Or they'll give it to number 6 again. Or
Yeah,
number 4.
Be a fake to number 4 and a throw. This is just defensively. We have played so poor today. It's just
Oh, they had no answer. This is a game.
number 4 and number 4 got to the 2-yard line. So 3rd and goal from the 2.
Well, credit to KU's line. They've been crushing it all day.
They have. I mean, they have honestly, at this point, they've controlled the line of scrimmage. Hey, BYU just scored.
Yep, up 23. It comes down to my guess is that they're going to go for 2 with 8 minutes and 44 seconds left.
Oh, well, here we go. 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Let's see. Can CU somehow stop them?
Yeah, they need some penetration.
Or will KU make a mistake? They got penetration, but not enough to keep them out of the end zone. Scored again. What is that? His 4th touchdown of the game?
That would be 3 rush and 1 receiving. Yeah, so 4.
Yeah, they're up 37 after this extra point. Going to be 37-21 with 11 minutes left in the game.
Yep.
We actually got some penetration again, but this is just one of the more frustrating losses I think I've watched in a few seasons with them in a long time. Where defensively we have played really well most of the season, outside of like one half.
Not this game.
And this game, defensively, we have played some of the most pathetic that we've ever played.
Oh yeah, it is. It has not been a good game. 2-point conversion failed for BYU, so they're down by 5 with 8 minutes 44 seconds left.
CU just went down 16 points with 11 minutes and 47 seconds left. Down 16. They're down 2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions right now because the defense just couldn't show up today.
Oh, they're getting cooked.
I mean, this is just pathetic. I mean, it really is pathetic.
They got 288 yards of rushing.
Well,
Kansas does. And
beginning of the game, that I hope they learned something from the KSU game, the Kansas State game earlier this year, where K-State ran for over 200 yards against them.
nope.
That they were going to need it when KU has run for over 2,000 yards coming into this game.
Yeah.
It's clear we did not have a good defensive game plan today at all.
No, and again, credit to Kansas that they have the mentality of you're not going to wait for you to stop us. And
yeah,
it hasn't happened. Like they haven't had their quarterback he's thrown for 189 yards, 14 out of 21, so he's 66%.
Yep.
And they haven't really needed him. Like when he's needed the play, his player's been open, and
yeah, that's just it.
Neal has carried the load. Neal's got 164 yards rushing and 80 yards reception, so he's accounted for 244 of KU's 477 yards. So still more than 50%. One guy.
Yeah, it's just frustrating to watch this game today and sit here and broadcast over it because it's like, well, somebody make a tackle and somebody
I mean, all these missed tackles add up, and especially the early ones when we had big chances. We haven't really had a chance to stop them since not in the second half. First half we had a number of third and longs,
Yep.
second longs, and every time Kansas would rip off 10, 12, 15 yards.
Yeah, they've done it all game to us, the entire game. It's not like they're doing anything fancy. They
No,
they they're running their same offense they've run the entire game,
yeah,
and CU is going to have to figure. The hard part is that if CU goes down and scores quickly, which they're going to have to, because time is becoming a huge factor. Now the D's back on after getting a minimal break again, and
yeah.
they haven't been able to stop them all day. And it's clear that unless number 4 hurts himself walking onto the field, you
They're just
know,
going to keep feeding the ball to him. I mean, the best
yeah, the
the
ball.
best position player to be playing all day today,
Yeah,
Kansas punter.
yeah. He hasn't even sniffed the field.
Yeah, that dude's probably still in the locker room.
Yeah, could be. He probably took off all of his pads and everything else, and that was that. Man,
Mhm.
this is just done.
This can't be this, but I don't know. All right. So let's look back.
Come on, CU.
The Baylor game seemed somewhat similar to this, where we were down by a margin and we couldn't offset the margin until clearly the very end.
Yeah,
It's the curse of Arrowhead Stadium.
it is. I hate Arrowhead Stadium. Now we just tried a wide receiver screen for 1 yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 9 right now. And I don't know why they keep going back to that. They need to go down the field fast, not let's run these wide receiver screens that have netted us like 4 yards the entire game, and we've run like 8 of them.
Yep.
You know, it's
Wow. It's the hope that something's going to happen. And in 2 games, I don't think they've broken any of them. Last game, maybe we got 8 yards on at most on one of them, and the rest of them were all like -1, -3, 1, no gain. Like, and we're doing the same thing here.
well, right now the problem is our offense is just not dynamic at the moment. You
Yeah,
know, I mean, eh, Kansas gotten us off the field 3 or 4 times already, but we're not being dynamic. It looks like the same play calls every single game. So,
mhm.
3rd and 3 right now from our own 32-yard line. 35 is the yard to gain. We're going from right to left. Sanders holding the ball forever and a day again, and throws complete to Hunter at the 40-yard line. 10.5 minutes left in the game. We're on our own 40-yard line. We're down by 16 points at the moment.
Move the sticks, move them fast.
And we need to go to a hurry up offense right now. We need to
Oh, yeah.
actually put Kansas. I mean, it's clear they can't get any much pressure on us. We
Well,
tried an inside.
they're getting pressure. Like, we need to get Hunter isolated or somebody. It doesn't have to be Hunter. Use
Yeah,
Hunter as a decoy.
yep. There's a 3 yard little inside attempt at a screen that wasn't there. So 2nd and 7 from the 43. I mean, but we've had nothing go down the field much today. Today we've actually thrown a lot more shallow routes than normal.
Hunter. Yeah, I agree. But I mean, let's use some of our big guys as decoys at this point. Isolate somebody on the outside.
Oh wow, a trick play right there, a triple handoff that is going for about 30 yards. For anybody that didn't see it, it was a handoff across the formation to a wide receiver, and then it was a reverse to Hunter, and he pitched it back to Sanders again, and they had a big wall of people ahead of them.
Big pass to Webster.
Yeah, yep, that was actually a good play right there. All right, handoff and nothing. That
Yeah,
took
but, I mean, the problem is the clock's now your enemy.
Yep, 8 minutes and 56 seconds left, and we need 2 touchdowns plus two 2 point conversions, and we need to stop them somehow. That
Well,
play was
I
there
think
if number 66 could have actually gotten to that guy. The play was there. There was a big hole there, but number 66 couldn't get himself down the line fast enough to take the linebacker out. So 2nd and 12 from their 32. Oh, Sanders better get rid of it. Get rid of it, Sanders. Oh, he overthrew number 10. Number 10 was, he definitely was in the seam between the cornerback and the safety, but there's a flag on the play. I'm going to guess holding in the backfield on the O-line.
Tends to happen.
Oh, no, they picked the flag up? Yeah, they picked the flag up. No holding.
All right. Hey, that's good.
3rd and 12 now. Oh, Sanders had him open too. Oh, Hunter was wide open for a touchdown. I don't know why he didn't go to Hunter. Hunter had the guy beat by 5 yards. Sanders, again, he is not getting off some of his reads and seeing open guys right now. And he didn't have too much pressure on that. This is 4-down territory right here.
Oh, yeah. 3rd and 12 on 32.
Oh, 1st down. Go down. Don't fumble that ball. All right, it's going to be 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line with 8 minutes left in the game. We have got to get in the end zone fast.
Oh, yeah.
Got to get in the end zone fast. That was right up the middle of the field, that play. It's probably been open all day long, but
I'm sure it has. It's like last week that they finally started capitalizing on it.
yeah, finally. Let's see here. 1st and 10.
On the 18.
Off, and that looked like a face mask in there, but maybe it wasn't. We got about 4 yards on it, but we have to have some urgency. Get it in there.
Yeah, we're going to be down at like 5 minutes, and every drive that Kansas has had has been 5, 6, 8 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Man, just looking at number 45, their linebacker, I think that's who it was. Man, that dude has a schnoz, like a huge schnoz. I mean, that looked like it almost touched the front of his face mask. Oh, this play got blown dead real quick. False start or illegal procedure on us. Yep.
So that'll be 2nd and 12.
I don't know what they're calling. I guess we're going to see what they're calling right here. They're huddling up, trying to figure this out. Sanders is irritated with somebody on our side.
Yeah, this is not the time for a 4-minute drive.
No.
Arizona State doing what they need.
Yeah, they are offsetting penalties on that. We had a false start or illegal procedure, and they had an illegal substitution on their side, which meant I think that's usually 12 men on the field. So
Play it again.
Got to get it in. It's 2nd and 6 from the 14-yard line, and we have got to score fast. Oh, holding in there. Holding. It doesn't matter. Shadur, what you do. It was holding in the backfield. Offensive line broke down, held. Now it's going to be
2nd and, well, it depends where the penalty was.
Yep, 7 minutes left right now, and holding on 66. Come on, 66. Get planted. Oh, come on. This is rough.
So
this is rough right now.
17 from the 24.
From the 24, 2nd and 16 from there. And Shadur is open. Oh, why did he throw to that? He threw to Shepard, and Shepard was covered like a glove. 3rd and 16, 6.5 minutes left. We have just laid a massive egg today.
Yep.
Laid an egg.
Oh, it was golden, like, take it. But clearly Kansas brought the game plan.
Oh, they did. And clearly we didn't show up today. This is just a frustrating game to watch. Now one of our O-line is down on the ground. I can't tell. I think it's a cramp. Yeah, I think he's cramping. Maybe. I don't know. So commercial break right there. Thank goodness. This is just this is a tough.
I mean, whatever is going to happen, if they can actually get this in, now you got the percentages of getting a 2-point conversion against you,
Yep.
especially with what we've been doing today. And then you got to get a stop. And then you got to do it again. You got to go down the field with whatever's left and get
Yep.
yourself a touchdown. And then you got to get another 2-point conversion. And
Yep.
that's just to get it to overtime.
Yeah, that'd just be to get it to overtime.
Yeah.
And I think the percentages are well against us right now that this is even going to make it to overtime.
Oh yeah. Well, with the Kansas punter already at home.
Yeah, no kidding. At this point, well, quick scoreboard rundown. Number 3, Texas is winning 24-14 against Kentucky with about 10 minutes left in that game. Penn State is beating Minnesota 26-25 right now with 5
Woo.
left in that game. That's a close.
That
That's
would be huge if Minnesota could pull that out. Who's got the ball?
Penn State has it right now, but it's 3rd and 9 at their 26-yard line. BYU is losing 23-28 against Arizona State, and Arizona State is 4th and 1 at the BYU 11. So if Arizona State kicks a field goal here, if they don't go for it, they'll be up 31-23, 8-point lead with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in that game. Obviously, CU right now is in a whirl of hurt, and Missouri is beating Mississippi State. That's the only other. Well, no, there's 2 ranked teams playing right now still. Missouri is winning 23. They're ranked 23. They're winning 31-20. And South Carolina, ranked number 18, is winning 41-12. So let's put it this way right now. CU's going to need if they lose this game, they're going to need an awful lot to happen to make it to the championship game. And I don't even know if they can. I don't know what that kind of looks like at that point because they lost head to head against K-State.
Oh, hey, Arizona State went for it and they got stuffed. BYU takes over on downs.
Oh my. That's
I,
this game they've gone for it on 4th.
that's 2 of them, right?
Yep. Oh my gosh. That was incomplete. We had a touchdown. Sanders was late delivering it to Shepard. Shepard had to wait for it, and it gave just enough time for the guy to get his hand in there and knock the ball out. He was wide open for a touchdown, but Sanders literally, it was a touchdown.
So this puts it 4th and 17.
And it might have been picked off. Nope, it bounced. It hit the ground. So this is 4th and the game right here.
Yep. I think it would be.
Might as well go for a touchdown.
Gonna lose it now.
Oh, and then we just had a false start on top of it. 77. The center did not snap the ball fast enough. Sanders called for it. 77 started, and the center held the ball.
4th and 22. Nice.
That's
So you have to get a touchdown at this point.
That is not on the tackle. That's on the center for not snapping it when he was supposed to snap the ball.
Oh man, on that incomplete to Shepard, had they gone to the outside receiver at the top of the screen, that guy seemed like he was hanging out.
Yeah, well, Sanders missed a bunch of wide open receivers today. It's not like it's the first time. Sanders got it. He's got to throw for a touchdown.
Shepard just dropped that pass. Oh my gosh, that was a touchdown.
Yeah, that's it. Sanders had to run for his life. None of the receivers got any separation. Turned the ball over on downs. This game is done unless CUSD can force a turnover like now. This game is over. That was just poor play calling, just a poor effort all the way around. And KU played a heck of a game. They deserve to win this game. That's for sure.
Oh, when you can play an entire game without having to punt,
Yep.
you've done a good job. Not that Colorado had to punt very much. I think they only punted twice.
Yeah, but we turned the ball over on downs twice.
Yep.
And didn't get any takeaways.
Yep.
This has been a rough game to watch. And what's going to be even more frustrating is if BYU in the last 2 minutes of that game, goes down and scores after Arizona did and wins that game because we were on the collision course.
Oh, well, they're driving.
They are, and we just couldn't get it done offensively today.
Well, it's not the worst thing because then Arizona State will have 3 conference losses, and that's going to leave. Well, I mean, the only chance Colorado has at this point is to try to make the conference championship game. Arizona State would be 5-3. Iowa State is 5-2,
Yeah,
but still has to play
K-State.
Kansas State, and Colorado would be 6-2. BYU is in because they would be 7-1.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be BYU potentially against Colorado, and Colorado, in theory, if they could beat Oklahoma State, they would be 7-2 in the conference, and Iowa State's the only team that could match them.
Yeah, but I think Iowa State, they'd probably win the tiebreaker, maybe. I don't know. But because if K-State goes and beats Iowa State, K-State's only got 2 losses, right, in the
No,
conference?
no, they got 3 losses. So
Oh.
the only ones, like Iowa State and Arizona State, both have 2 losses, and then Colorado and BYU have 1 loss. So regardless, this would put us at 2. Arizona State, if they do lose, they'll have 3. They're out, and that leaves Iowa State. If they win against K-State, they would be tied, and CU wins against Oklahoma State. They would both be 6-2 in the conference. Iowa State would have a better overall record at that point of 9-2. No,
Yep.
and Colorado would be 8-3.
Look at it. There's Hunter. They just went back to him. Hunter standing all by himself over on the goal line on the other side of the field, and he was wide open. And Sanders, of course, can't. He's just that's my biggest thing on him. He doesn't see the field as well as everybody. He keeps plays alive, sure, but he misses a lot of open
Oh,
receivers,
yeah.
constantly missing them. He zeroes in on guys rather than making better reads. Look at that. Hand off to number 28. Number 4 didn't get the ball. I'm shocked. I don't
Wow.
understand that. What happened?
He's got the day off now.
I guess so. They're up by 16.
Oh, they're
And
just going to run the clock out at this point.
2nd and 8. 2nd and 8. Let's see here. 2nd and 8. Total yards today. CU 308. 489 for the KU Jayhawks. This has just been a beatdown. Hey, number 4's back in the game. All right. And he splits out to the right of the quarterback.
No one will cover him. Don't worry.
Oh, now he is running through the backfield. And, number 6 keeps the ball himself. That was sniffed out pretty well. There's a flag on the play. I think the flag is going to be
Against Kansas procedure of some kind.
Procedure against Kansas on this one. We'll decline that because we actually defended that play pretty well. It'll be 3rd and about 10 maybe. But this is where we haven't been able to get off the field. And at this point, it's almost too little too late. If they finally get a stop, we're gonna have 5 minutes left.
Oh, yeah, and then even if you get the score and the 2-point, now you got to get another stop just to get the ball back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that happening 2 in a row. I mean, that would be incredible.
They've had all day to do that, and they haven't done it.
No, 3rd and 10 on the 29, 5.5 minutes left.
No, we took the penalty.
Yeah. That leaves it 3rd and 10.
Didn't matter. Then number 8, our defenseman, took an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty for cracking a guy in the helmet twice, right in front of the ref. The first one, the ref was going to let go. Then he turns around and does it again, right in front of the ref, and the ref throws it. I mean, come on. That is so undisciplined. And if I were the defensive coordinator, I'd be like, you park it over there for the rest of the game. You're off. Whoever replacement is, you're on. Get on there. Lose your cool. You're down by 16 points.
You have a chance to get the ball back.
Yeah, unacceptable. Just unacceptable by the CU defense.
Oh my gosh. Come on now.
Yeah, and they're just running the clock down to almost 0 before they even snap the ball. So, Yeah, this game is over. I'm just so frustrated with the CU defense today, being unable to make. I mean, Hunter is so mad out there right now. He is mad at the offense. He's mad at the defense because nobody's making any plays. Oh, 2nd and 5. Of course, number 4 made 5 yards on the play. We had him in 3rd and 10.
Yep.
We had him in 3rd and 10, and a complete mental mistake. I hope number 8 is not out there right now. I mean,
Oh, I think he got pulled. Yeah.
yeah, he better be. I would have told him, you park it on the bench over there. Park it. You're done. You're out. You will not see the field the rest of the game, no matter what happens. First down. Number 4 just ran it for 15 yards.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
you can't stop the running back all game long. You are not going to win a game.
no. Yeah, I mean that guy showed up every play that they needed him to.
Yep. We had a guy waiting for him in the backfield, a defensive lineman waiting, unblocked. And number 4 still managed to get by him. He was waiting right there to tackle him.
Not a good game.
Nope. Offense did not show up. Shermer called just a pathetic game as usual. He's got like 8 plays in the playbook. And
And all the teams have figured out what they are.
yeah, they've figured out what they're gonna do all game long. They figured it out.
Well, this was our chance. This was our chance to get to 9-2 to cement the Big 12 championship game
Yep.
done, and we can't even force a punt today.
Can't even force a punt. It's
Why
just
stop the clock? What does it matter?
yeah. I don't know why they called a timeout. That just made no sense at all. I mean, we can't stop him. They're on our side of the field already. It's
Yeah.
1st and 10 at our 40-yard line for anybody that's still listening out there in the land. Oh, there goes number 4 again for 12 yards right up the middle.
Oh, and the whole thing just changed. Second, third down, BYU, Arizona State BYU throws an interception to Arizona State, which is returned down to BYU 7, 1st and goal, Arizona State with
Oh my
56
God.
seconds. So now
That's it.
BYU 2 conference losses, Arizona State 2 conference losses, Colorado 2 conference losses, ISU 2 conference losses.
Yeah.
How do you sort it out when none
It's
of
all
those teams have played each other? That's the
it's all
problem.
yeah, all head to head. I don't think CU has a chance. So 1st down and 10 at CU's 29-yard line. K-State runs the ball again, but no gain this time. I don't think we've said that very often this game. No gain.
And there was that one time when we dropped him for a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, there was. But
That
outside,
might have been a fan dressed in a number 4 jersey.
yeah, they're showing a stat right now. Devin Neal, their running back, has 275 yards of total offense today. CU's entire offense has 308 yards.
Oh yeah. Oh, the guy crushed us all day.
All game long, that dude ate us for lunch and came back for dessert and seconds and everything else. Oh, look at that. Another no gain. How, I get KU's probably not calling, great plays right now. They're just kind of running the clock, no big deal. There's no threat of really them passing the ball. So CU can sit back and try to play the run. But they should have just played the run the whole game.
Oh yeah. That's all they were playing anyway.
I don't. They played the pass some. They just never. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's gaps in the defense, and then that's game after game. It's the gaps where think about last week when it was the 2 dudes over the middle. The running back would release up the middle, and then the tight end would go, essentially do a post route and then turn it in, and you could either get 12 yards to the running back or you could get 22 yards to the receiver down the middle. And they ran it and ran it and ran it and we stopped it once. Now
Uh,
you got a running back and a line. That line for Kansas crushed us today.
oh, they did. They owned the line of scrimmage, and the part that made it even worse was there were plenty of times we had a chance to get off the field and stop, but we couldn't tackle them. We have so many missed tackles. It's got to be closing in on 20 missed tackles today. You
Right.
can't have that and be successful when you have chances to get off the field. I mean, even for Neal's first touchdown pass, first touchdown of the game, guy caught it out of the backfield and ran for 50 yards. One of our safeties had him for a 4-yard gain.
Yeah. And I mean, when you got 20 missed tackles,
Yeah.
we knew, it's your gig's up there.
Totally.
Hmm.
Totally. Well, Penn State managed to win it 26-25. I bet that was a good game. I bet that was actually a very good game. BYU,
I
let's see.
don't know what's going on. The last two plays were a loss of 27 yards for Arizona State and a loss of 10 yards. So it's 4th and goal from the 39.
Yeah, I wonder if they just snapped the
Hiked
ball.
it and were running around. Yeah, or it was too bad. Yeah, too bad deliveries. I don't know.
I don't know either, but I think that game is pretty much done.
Yeah,
It's
I'm curious how they're going to run the tiebreaker if Colorado wins next week. If Iowa State wins next week, who does Arizona State play? They play. They've got Arizona, so it's their rivalry game,
they'll
which go any direction.
Yeah, Arizona is not good this year. They have so many injuries that they're basically fielding their backup lineup out there right
And
now.
BYU plays Houston, who is 4-6 overall.
Yeah,
So if all 4 teams win, that'll be interesting.
yeah, that would have been interesting. Yeah, this is not how I was expecting this game to go today at all.
Nope, nope, not at all.
I expected a tough game. Don't get me wrong. I expected a tough game because KU knocked off 2 straight ranked opponents. I expected a tough game. But we have enough film on tape to know who to stop.
Oh yeah, you gotta stop Neal. That dude,
Yep.
he's their player. 196 yards rushing, 80
Oh,
yards receiving, and
well,
4 touchdowns.
he just ran for 9 yards. It's 4th and 1 down low here. Let's see what they're going to do. I think they're going to keep their big boys on the field and just get it done. I mean,
Why not? Yeah, I mean, it's been like 3 plays that they haven't gained that they haven't gained positive yards on a run.
yeah. Yeah, this is just not been a great game, that's for sure. Hey, CU showed some signs of life in there. Began the second half, went down, scored a touchdown, tightened this game to a 2-point game, and then since then it's been all KU again. It literally has just been can't do anything offensively, and we can't stop number 4. Number 4 has just been a juggernaut out there today.
And they matched what they had essentially in the first half. I think they had 20 minutes of
Yeah,
the 30 minutes of possession, and the second half it's the same. Before that play, they're currently at 38-19, so they're going to match and be at 40 minutes of total possession for the game.
I know.
How can you win a game when the other team has it 66% of the time?
Yeah, here they go. 4th and 1. They're going to go for it. They're at our 20-yard line. They need the 19, and he got it. That is it. He ran for 4 yards. 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Guy ran for about 210 yards today. You don't win games when you let somebody run on you for almost 300 yards in a day. You just don't win games.
Oh no, he crushed everybody.
Yeah, that dude just was. I mean, that guy went over 1,000 yards for the season, no problem. He has 1,100 yards on the season, and this is the first time in FBS history where a team without a winning record has beat 3 straight ranked opponents.
Yep.
3 straight ranked opponents.
Who do they have next week? I'm interested to see.
I don't know. They become bowl eligible next week if they win. They can become bowl eligible.
They've got Baylor, so that's doable. Although
Yeah.
Baylor does have a winning record, 6-4.
Yeah.
Man, that dude had himself a day.
I did. You got to hand it to them. They made the plays, and defense could not stop one guy.
Nope.
Guy was it. That is it. All right, seconds are ticking down. They don't have to run another play. KU is going to walk off the field today with a 37-21 win over the number 16 Buffs. Buffs are going to be they're going to have to hope they can even stay in the top 25. I'm sure they'll drop into the 20s, but I don't really care about the ranking. It's more they've got to beat Oklahoma State next week. They got to regroup and beat Oklahoma State next week.
It's their only chance to make it, hopefully, to the championship game. Looking at BYU and
Yeah,
Arizona State, that one hasn't closed yet. Still 7 seconds.
yeah, but that
Arizona State just ate up the entire what time was left.
yeah, and all I can say is CU had the Big 12 championship game in their control today. And I don't know that they have that in control now. I think they have to win next week, and some other things have to happen for them to probably make the Big 12 championship game now. And they had everything, everything to play for today.
Yep. And
So,
we've already talked about who the common opponents are. I mean, if the BYU result holds up, BYU will have 2 conference losses. Arizona State will have 2 conference losses, and Arizona State will have the head-to-head. So you would think
yep,
that Arizona State will be in the driver's seat on that side. And then it comes down to Colorado if they take care of business next week, and if Iowa State wins next week against Kansas State, they will each both have 2 losses.
yeah, I
We
think
need,
what we
we
can
need
hope for,
Kansas State. Kansas State has to beat Iowa State. Like
they
that's the only path they have.
that is the only path they have. I think that is it. And I just don't even know because it would probably come down to between them and BYU going in. But because is there a North and a South in the Big 12 or a East and a West? I don't even know if we're split. I think it's just one big conference.
I think it is, and I don't know how they're gonna sort out all that.
Yeah. Well, that is that.
That was as disappointing a game as you can watch when you know that one at halftime you knew the one person that you needed to target, and you knew the holes you needed to fix. And I think he, from a rushing perspective, I think he had as many yards in the second half as he did in the first half. So
Yeah.
whatever the adjustments were, none of it mattered. We gave up too many big penalties in big situations where personal fouls or offsides or things that just kept drives going late there when it was 6-7 minutes left, and then a personal foul with boneheaded hitting someone in the helmet right in front of the referee,
Yeah.
like on a 3rd and 9, which I think actually got stopped, and it would have been the first time they would have had to call the timeout to get their punter from home.
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's just that was rough. That was a rough go today. Thanks for our national audience sticking with us. Probably feeling a lot of the frustrations. Obviously, I let some of my frustration out, but man, that was a frustrating game to watch.
Yeah, that was not a good game.
So, all right, well, I think we're gonna say so long today. CU came into Arrowhead. It remains a house of horrors for Colorado football teams. That's for sure. And maybe that's why they had the game there. It's because they knew it's a house of horrors for Colorado football. But we see, I think Colorado football teams remain winless at Arrowhead Stadium since 2015. It's been going on 9 years now, winless at Arrowhead Stadium. That is
Okay.
not a good thing. And CU takes the loss 37-21 today.
Next time. So we'll
Yep.
catch everyone next week for the Oklahoma State game. Hopefully the game plan and the outcome is better. We certainly need it, and
Yep.
appreciate everyone tuning in today.
Absolutely. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Signing off.
Signing off.